Yeah. All right. So I gotta. Tussle is gonna be on the left. I have overlay. I think I do. We have. Tussle Town. That is really hard to read. What's blue? We ain't doing blue. We're doing light blue. And we've got.
Watch out! The floor is lava!
Jimmy, can you speak real quick? I need to test levels. Oh yeah. All right, what do we got?
Are y'all casting our game?
Yeah.
What up? What's this about?
We just started some trouble.
Do it big, guys.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you, dude. Come
It's
on.
gonna be so good.
It's gonna be
So good. Dude, our team's in shambles. Nobody even plays League on our team anymore. We're so good. Everybody.
You better win. Pressure's on. You are so loud. Holy shit. Oh, I
I'm
got
so
some-
sorry.
No, you're fine. That's my fault, man.
The floor is lava!
I'm drinking bourbon from a glass that has a crack in it.
That's got to be some kind of party
Dude.
foul.
Do you work at Riot yet?
No, man, they canceled the in-person interview, which kind of sucked. I was really hoping to just get a trip out there and see LCS, and they like a week before I was gonna fly out, it was like, hey, haven't heard the exact details yet. Kind of would know that, and they were like, we decided to pause the interviews for that department for now. I got the feeling like because I had a later interview date than the other people, they just found someone they liked and they didn't want to fly me out.
Dude, those buttholes, man. Dude, Riot sucks.
Red, your team's waiting for you, bro.
Okay, I'm coming. Sorry. Tell them to calm down. Our team can't even play right now because.
No excuses. Play like a champion.
Always play like a champion. What is
Dude,
this?
what up? What up, dude?
Oh my god. What is this?
The second, I gotta look up everybody on op.gg real quick.
Okay, my top laner's a Swain main. I'm a Kindred main. Fuzel is an Orianna Rise main.
Oh,
So-
dude, we
plays Jhin.
dude, we just
and
gave him
Monster
more-
plays Zyra.
So it appears that we have the two team captains in the caster channel discussing strategy with one another. Hopefully
So-
there's no collusion happening.
dude, I like it. Hey, if you didn't know, Radjack's an Akali main. Donger plays 3 champions.
Who's a collie?
That
Don't worry about
that kind of broken champ right now.
Goon doesn't even play ADC
Support?
anymore. He plays mid lane, so don't worry about that.
Really? Because it looks to me like Goon plays support.
Dude,
Oh,
let's
there
go.
we go. There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Split. Well,
Are we
good
ready?
game, all. I'm out. I'm out. No, we're not ready. I haven't looked up
Here we
anybody
go.
on NG.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna head back to my team.
Okay.
and tell
Yeah, you
them
should
I
probably
gave them
do
our
that.
strats.
Adios, gents.
Your top secret
See you
strats.
guys.
Gentlemen, wish each other good luck. Touch gloves.
Good luck.
Keep it clean.
Nothing below the belt.
Nothing below the belt. Dude, you sound raspy AF with that mic, man. It's nice. You sound like smooth bourbon.
German Woodford Reserve, right here.
Yo, that's legit.
I like it.
We've
good
got
stuff.
let's see. I've got an Evil Genius Turtle Power, which is a grapefruit pale ale, and a Flying Fish Redfish, which is a
Nice,
great
nice.
beer.
I was at the Hartford Yardgoat Stadium today, and they have a very special beer only available at the stadium called the Nectar of the Goats.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, this is good. This is good. Good choice, Connecticut.
All right. So let me turn this shit off. All right, so we've got. Oh, Goonball just tuned in. Jesus. I believe I have the sides right. Yeah, Tussletown is Kio's team, and Zyro Wets My Plants is the
Angry.
team that's been pieced together from the remains of
Understood.
what it started as.
Now, Tussletown is officially the rank 2 team, right?
I believe so. I think they are. Yeah, I don't know anything, so we're gonna
Well, Fuzel, when he subbed for you, got Oriana twice and did some good work.
get some good work. So it looks like they might try to take that out.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
looks like, yeah.
George-
Yep.
I know George. The Malzahar band is directed at George. He also plays Zillion. He's the other Zillion player in Vantage. So there's a chance we see that because a lot of teams just don't like playing against it. It's kind of a weird dynamic.
If you insist.
Swain is at Ansem, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Clyde band, too. That's a little bit of a surprise, but
I think the Rise band is actually a surprise. Like, I know Fuzel plays it, and I played against it, and he's got some chops on it, like, legit, but I don't know if that champ's worth the ban rate. I have very,
Yeah.
very little respect for that champion right now, because, like, Fuzel played it. I just realized Red got Zyra. What's going on? Oh,
wow,
my
that is
goodness.
surprising. Yeah, you have to wonder if the Clyde band was worth it if they're going to get the Zyra.
I mean, maybe they have something planned against it.
Mm-hmm. Vel'Koz. The
Maybe Monster-
patented big bad red Zyra counter.
Yeah, I mean, Monster is a what's it called? He's like a transported mid laner. So maybe he's played some Vel'Koz in the past. I think he has. But as a support player, he typically just plays meta. Like he plays I think he's recently been playing like Janna, Nami, and Tarek.
Yeah, you have to wonder what their plan is because Donger getting Zac and Red getting Zyra
Yeah, it's
is
like their two best champions.
monster picks, and
Yeah.
not only two best champions, but Zac is incredibly good right now.
Yeah, just
and
like as a
Zyra's
blanket
no slouch
champ.
either right now.
Absolutely. So I don't know. I do like the team comp on the side of Tussletown though.
Yeah,
so
certainly
far.
nothing wrong with it so far.
Like that's like pretty meta. Like you have
Yeah.
a few. Maokai is one of the premium tanks right now, but so is Zac. I don't know if they're gonna send that Maokai to the jungle now and play something that can lean
You
against
overstep.
Darius a little better. Kindred toward Kyo.
I
Do you
wonder
thi-
if Kyo will play the Maokai or if that's going to be Ansem. I know Ansem plays it, but it's certainly a pretty valuable jungler right now.
Yeah, also I don't know how you would know this. You're the resident
My
Darius
genius
expert.
will
Like,
be
what's the matchup there? I feel like it's heavily Darius favored outside of
Actually,
jungle
it's not as
pressure.
much as you would think. It's actually Maokai's one of the better tanks into Darius because he can always dodge the Q with his W,
Grounded.
and he just has a lot of good disengage. And playing against Darius, especially as a tank, is all about the disengage. If you can trade with him a little bit and then disengage so he doesn't get full
Come
stacks,
on.
then you're going to be
What's the worst
okay.
that could
Yeah.
happen?
And Maokai can do that really well. So
Jinx aimed toward Goonball there, taking two of the premier carries out. Jin kind of in an interesting spot because maybe Rixie can comment on this if he's there. I don't know if you're there, Dan, but Jin kind of in an interesting spot because if the hyper tanks and the super big tanks weren't as good as they are, he would clearly be the best AD carry right now, I think.
Yep.
So there's a chance. I mean, Goomball does play a lot of Jin. I don't know. I haven't seen his Jin in a while, but I know he plays a lot of it in solo queue, so maybe that was just directed toward him. I want to say good fundamental banning, like you ban two of the things that are left of the two roles that are left, but I mean, I have big issues with this draft giving Donger and giving
Yeah.
arguably they are their two best players. Giving their two
Well,
best
and
players.
Goonball even on Vayne without, a Caitlyn to really punish it. I don't know how the
Trist would destroy
Tristana
that. Tristana would destroy Vayne. Should.
with Zyra zoning, maybe that'll give her enough leeway to make it through lane phase.
Yeah, that's probably the only saving grace.
And we get the Kane from presumably Keo,
Yeah, I assume.
but I don't. Okay, yeah. So Victor Syndra is pretty heavily in favor of Syndra. Like, it's not like the hardest counter ever, but it's a counter. It's like probably like 60-40 or 65-35, whatever, in favor of Syndra. I'm willing to give. That's probably going to be a pretty even matchup because Fuzel's pretty good. Just gonna go ahead and say that. I mean, I am just blasting. I'm gonna be blasting people all night. So, Fuzel, I think Fuzel is at this point. I don't know how much George has been playing. I haven't looked him up recently, but Fuzel's probably significantly better than George right now. So maybe that evens that matchup up a little bit. No cleanse or
So
barrier.
it's
or
typically in
heal.
favor of the Syndra.
It is in favor of the Syndra because she does all her damage a lot faster, and Victor's skills don't do anything to interrupt Syndra's skills. So she can Victor, if you the level 6 damage trades where Victor ults and then Syndra ults, the Syndra ults does her damage way faster than the Victor ult does. So Victor at level 6 is quite good. Victor's a pretty solid laner against certain matchups, but when he is against someone that just does their damage faster, you can't get multiple ult 6 on somebody to get the kill or even get a trade kill. So the trades become heavily in favor of Syndra.
That's fair.
I do like the team comps on both sides. They're pretty balanced all around. Good wave clear.
Yeah, a bit more of a brawly team comp coming out of Zyra's plants,
Yeah.
but certainly both solid team comps. Both have the super tank that's OP right now with Maokai and Zac. Both have
Good wave clearing control mages.
exactly, yeah, and certainly less of a siege coming out of Zyra's plants, but
Yeah.
so maybe the tower pushing power of Tristana will give them a gold lead if they get some towers fast. But
we'll have to
it
see.
seems like Zyra's plants can just take a fight and win a fight solidly if they get the right
I'm wondering.
engage.
I don't see any way outside of Zac actually getting to Tristana of a good, reliable way to get to Tristana in these fights, or
Yeah,
Victor for
that's
that
true.
matter. Because you have the Janet disengage. Also, Trist has her ults and the jump. So I don't know how you're ever cleanly gonna
Yeah.
get onto Tristana in any
Also,
of these fights.
as a Darius against Tristana, Janna with a Maokai in the mix too, that's a frustrating Darius game.
yeah.
That's the kind of game where I would just build full tank and just get stacks if you can, and maybe get a kill out of it, because you're not going to be able to live very long with all that. That's a lot of peel for a melee champion like Darius who doesn't have any gap closers.
Yeah, I do both these teams can play front to back though. So and I think the DPS / tank the comment, if you combine all the elements together, this is kind of the metagame right now, and even in the pro scene, it's kind of the metagame, right? Where you have X amount of health for your tank line, right, and then Y amount of damage for your carries, and maybe some healing or shields from your support would be Z, right? And you add all those together, and whoever has the more effective number wins, right? In a lot of, unless somebody has a big lead. So in this case, I think the two front line could end up balancing out the fact that the Vayne might not be able to siege. So in fights, maybe Zyra might have the better front to back just because they have a second tank. So I guess a lot of it depends on if Ansem gets rolling and he can get big, then they only need the one tank, So
True.
we'll see.
And Ragic might not build very tanky anyway. A lot of Dariuses go fervor and build 2 damage items.
That's true.
So he might, it might be just one tank versus one tank anyway.
Yeah, both supports decent at disengaging too. So I don't know. We can go predictions LCS style. Who you guys think has this?
I'm gonna vote for Tussletown. I think Fuzel impressed me when he subbed for you the other day.
Yeah.
Played really, really well. Ansem has been playing really well in the top lane. It seems like I play against him every week in Vantage League because he like
Yeah,
subs
he
for
subs for
whoever top
somebody.
laner playing against me. So it feels like I play against him every week, and he's really good at like managing deficits and not falling too far behind.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what you want to do in a Maokai versus Darius lane. If you can just manage and not get too far behind in laning phase, then you'll be really effective in team fights.
Yeah, I kind of, I think on like an individual player basis too. I think it's slightly stronger on that side. I mean, I think Donger's an outlier. I think Red's got a pretty big advantage on Monster Energy, like as a support player, because Monster's kind of a converted mid.
Well, Donger's high rated too, but Kyo's a perfectly legitimate jungler
Kyo-
too. So
yeah,
I don't think
Kyo's
there's a
good.
big disparity in the jungle in this matchup.
No, not at all.
I think
I don't
both
think so at all.
have like even a mildly similar style.
So
Yeah.
I think the team comp for Tussletown is like more. My preference would be for Tussletown's team comp if I was playing.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
think that Zyra's comp is a little tiny bit more explosive. Like if the Vayne gets rolling, all of a sudden front to back becomes just not a strategy you can do, you know, or like it's not as viable because she's gonna rip through. I don't know. What do you think, Rexy?
Tristana.
Tristana just wins.
So Tristana just wins.
She's broken.
Is it busted?
She's really strong right now.
Tristana's fucking busted, man.
I've seen that happen ever since somebody mentioned this in a game, and they were talking about how she's got her explosive charge on the turret, and somebody walks by it and just gets half health. And I've seen that happen a few times
Yeah.
since somebody mentioned that. I was like, wow, that actually does a crazy amount of damage if you just walk
People
by.
hang out like don't even like respect it.
Yeah,
as-
yeah.
Well, I think what's crazy about that too is like think of the scenario where that's happening, right? Like think of like the first bot tower, right? If they're like sieging the bot tower, I gotta pull this up 1 sec. There we go. If they're like sieging the first bot tower, right? Your options are to stand like all the way, like say you're like red side, right? Your options are to stand all the way against the wall on the other side, which makes it really easy to hit skill shots with like Zyra, Blitzcrank, Thresh, right? Or they take the damage from the explosion on the tower because you can't stay, or they're zoned off XP. So I think that is kind of like that's like a low key powerful thing.
Yeah.
She's just good though. Like all the itemization is so good for her right now. And I don't think there was any nerfs on this patch, right? To Trist or the items.
Yeah.
I know Kate got nerfs, right? Kate got more base damage nerfs, I think.
He got a small nerf that I can't remember what it is.
It wasn't as big as the last one. No, her traps, her headshot bonus damage is less on the trap, or trap bonus damage is less.
And also, like the Piltover Peacemaker does less damage to the secondary target.
Okay,
Like
so you
anything
have
that hits
to hit
after the primary target. Yeah. Which is actually a decent nerf. So
Yo, Badger, get your ass in here. Don't call us nerds.
Tuba, I heard you pick the other team to win. I'm just saying, what's up with that?
well, okay. So I think you guys had a great start to the draft.
What's up with that? Come on.
You guys have Zyra and Zach.
I know it was.
You
Such
know
a
what?
good
I'd
start
say
to the
you know no.
draft.
I'm taking back my prediction. I'm going.
I'm
with
just
Red.
telling you right
And it's
now.
It's not just because he showed up here, but I like just remembered that they got Zyra and Zach. So
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the draft started so well, and then
It got weird.
I don't know.
Do people just pick what they want to pick right now?
That's
Where
fair.
this game doesn't matter.
listening with
This,
the girlfriend.
this is there certainly never happened in LCS where like a player just joins into the cast.
Everybody say hi to
Well, it's
Badger's
happening.
girlfriend from chat.
Hi, Badger's girlfriend.
Hello, Badger's girlfriend.
What up, girl? Okay, I'm heading back.
Have fun in the game that you're in that we're casting. Like,
Okay, we'll do.
oh
Does
my
that
god.
does that mean it's still paused 3 minutes from now if he just hopped in there?
Oh.
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
We'll see.
I hope not.
It
Maybe it
might
is.
be.
It probably is actually.
Yeah.
So in that case, yeah, I'm gonna revise. I think.
I mean, I don't think it's like 80-20 or anything.
You think it's like 55-45 or something like that?
Yeah, I would say 60-40 that Tussletown's going to win.
All right, I'm gonna go like 55-45 that Zyra wins. I'm changing it. and Rixie thinks Tussletown wins. So
We'll see. We'll see.
I guess I'll do play-by-play, or we can just like YOLO, just casual cast this, no play-by-play, and raffle it.
We'll figure it out. It'll be all right.
I'm down for that. We just do like Doa and Monte Cristo style, and just be like banter the whole time.
Doesn't have to be.
No, you don't want like random outburst of play-by-play casting.
Maybe that would be fun. I don't know.
I don't know.
And the pause timer is going down.
26:45, 20. Oh, it just jumped. We're time walking. We're time walking. It just went from 26:45 to 27.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
oh, that means it's probably paused for 3 minutes. So, you did see that, right? Did you get the same thing?
20.
I'm at 26:48 right now.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Badger brings up a good point in the chat. This is actually a really, really good point. He says, quote, Badger, gross. Who plays Vayne? That hero is garbage. And she has no Ardent Sensor user
What?
on her team.
That is a really
Which,
good point.
the
by
Ardent
way, yeah.
Sensor point is good
That's a
point.
legitimate point.
Rajic says Rajic chiming in says Darius rushes Ardent Sensor now. Goonball simply says Piglet. Plays Vayne. What's going on with this pause? I know you guys typed it in game, but I can't read it because there's character portraits. Yeah, Goonball can't beat the real thing. Nightbot just crushed Goonball, so maybe that bodes poorly for this game. If Nightbot can crush Goonball, then maybe the Tidsy's going to also.
Yeah, that's good.
Wait, which team did we just dumpster when I had
Oh,
200
no!
ping?
Oh no!
Not one of these ones.
Oh, okay.
We played poor Badger's team, who's also listening.
Badger.
I mean, I got a pentakill with 2,600 ping.
That's true. Yeah,
That's
you
it.
too.
That ain't right. That ain't right, Badger.
Oh my god.
I'm about to pop off.
I got a pentakill with 2,000.
I got cut off by Nightbot, but I'm about to go off.
This is going.
Dude, we're
full.
about to. Just so you know, we're about to start, boys. Here we go.
Certainly a non-traditional cast of a lot of-
Yeah, I mean we're just
That's
we're
okay.
winging
That's
it.
all right. It's
We
fun.
like it here.
It's good.
We're gonna keep it under. I mean, we gotta keep it under control. We gotta keep it absolutely under control, right? Right, Badger?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, just in case Badger's like offended. Oh wait, he's already did.
So I was wondering where you're going with that.
Nah, there's nowhere I was going with that. I'm really shitty at banter. I'm just gonna stick to the facts. Stats. Badger's triggered. He's like lowercase with a period triggered though.
All right. Well, I ran out of bourbon in my glass, so I went back and got the bottle.
You should just. Here we go. Previews of Boston fam. Here we go.
I don't have much left in the bottle, so we'll see. See how long it lasts.
Maybe I'll bring a bottle of bourbon for hosting.
Aw, that would be so sweet. Tell you what I'm into now, though. There's a sweet moonshine place right down the street from me. It figures that I had to move from Kentucky to Connecticut to get into moonshine.
Yeah, now you're in the moonshine.
There's this awesome spiced moonshine from North Carolina they have there. And it's like everything that Fireball wishes it could be.
That
It's like
sounds awesome,
Perfectly
actually.
cinnamony. It's really good. It's really, really good. I gotta get a bottle of that
Can we
sometime.
go?
Hey,
Right,
Fireball is just there to please 16-year-old girls.
I
Can
know,
we go?
but this is like this
Dan,
is like
Dan, listen. We do not condone underage drinking on this cast.
nor do we condone pleasing 16-year-old girls.
Oh my god. Hey, you said that, not me. All right, just to be clear here.
Talk about a liquor. No.
Oh my god. I thought you barely knew her. No. Oh my god. I wish I could
This is
type
what
in all
long
chat.
pauses.
Can I type in all chat?
No, you can't. That would be nice though.
It let me enter the text. It just doesn't go through. That makes me sad. Big Bad Red Zyra portrait is blocking me. You want to talk about triggered? God damn. Whew. Where the hell is
Speaking of
Colin?
portraits, though, the skin portrait change is pretty sweet.
That is
I
sweet.
actually
I
didn't
like it.
think I would like it or like really care for it, but it was. I approve.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't even realize because that was patch was today, right? I'm not like
Mhm,
I'm not
mhm.
like drunk. Oh wait, no. So yeah, so that happened today. Yeah, I noticed it today just playing because I've been rocking the Pentakill skin for the just because it's flavor.
Yeah. Oh, unpause coming in.
Oh, here we go. Unpause, and the game is about to start, and we can talk for another minute and a half anyway. So.
Wow.
All right, so I've revised. I think Zyra, What's My Plans is gonna win the first game. You guys both think that Tussletown is going to. I'm gonna Babe Ruth this, and I'm gonna say Donger's just gonna go ballistic on Zach,
Okay. All right.
and that's just gonna be it. He's gonna chain like 3 successful ganks in a row, and that's just gonna be it.
I mean, Zach gets banned frequently against him for multiple seasons. Like
Yeah.
basically ever since I've been in Advantage League.
yeah,
in
I actually
January.
don't know how
I've
he got
seen-
it.
I don't really know that I've seen him get Zach in the game in the 3 seasons that I've played Advantage
Yeah,
League.
I don't think
so-
I've ever played against it.
I mean, it's by far his most played champion.
Yeah.
Like several hundred games above the next one.
And he's
so-
a relatively high. I think he's Diamond 4, Diamond
Yeah,
3.
he's
He's been
Diamond-
Diamond 3 before. Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's a
yeah.
good player. He's good.
and he
so
was
he's-
Masters at the beginning of the season, so it's like
Oh
definitely.
yeah, I
like,
forgot about that.
yeah.
Wait, Badger says, "Peace out, nerds. Y'all going down August 20th." I guess we play them first in the playoffs, right?
Yeah. And we're gonna try to play it next Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after
Oh,
that.
okay. Oh, did you guys? Is there a match?
Me and Badger talked about
Oh,
it.
okay,
Badger was
cool.
like, yeah. We don't
Okay,
need to
yeah,
talk
that
about
works. That
scheduling
works.
games
That
on
should
this.
work for me. Let's talk scheduling online. Let's go into a tirade about scheduling. I mean, we could do that, but
I think VMO's got some really good ideas. Shout out to VMO doing awesome casts, but
Yeah.
he's got some good ideas with scheduling. He posted some stuff in Advantage League when I was talking about scheduling, and
I think the way they do it, I'm like working with them, like coaching partially. We've got a blue start here by Sorry, What's My Plants. Keo starting on his Raptors into his red. Gonna give him a slight edge to begin this game from a tempo standpoint. Anyway, we'll see where he goes from that.
well, word on the street is Kane, after he gets his jungle item, does not lose health in the jungle. So we'll see. I haven't really watched a Kane jungle yet. I've just kind of like see
Also,
what
he
I
one
hear in
shots.
Gank Me.
Also, he one shots carries once he gets Warrior. Quote two.
Yeah, that is
90 minutes
remarkably
ago.
true.
That's-
Yeah. I'm a
From
little
the
salty
Flex
about
Q game where
Kane
we
in
just
general.
got demolished.
All right, let's see this quintessential Kane gank. He's gonna go through a wall here in a second. Oh no, maybe he doesn't have a
No, through the wall,
spell yet.
dashes through. He's gonna get some W damage down, which is relevant. Oh, good trade
Is
back
relevant.
by George.
Yeah,
George
good
doing
damage
really
by
good
George.
job actually getting the autos in there. That's good. A lot of people don't do that, but every auto counts.
This is his wall spell must be his third point there. Shadow
Yeah.
step.
Yeah, so I guess he only level 2. Yeah, the W I think is his the knock up thing, and the Q is the dash. I think that's what it is. Looking like not a lot going on early.
There's some fighting in bottom lane right now. Good trade.
It
By
was actually really
Zyra, lots of damage.
looking like Donger might actually have found Keo here. Keo's still level 2.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
taking the damage
big.
from George at the gank was pretty significant. We'll see
Yeah.
if it comes to play right here.
got 3v2 here. It's probably in the favor of Tussletown, but flash out by Donger. It doesn't look like it. Wow, it's kind of amazing that was the only summoner blown there, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I was just
Yeah.
thinking the same thing.
So nothing comes of that somehow. Donger's gonna go ahead and hit that.
And we'll see if Keo can actually finish his blue. With Smite, should be able to, unless it's stolen, right? Oh, this is gonna be
Oh
close.
my god, the drive-by
Wow,
steal!
the
Donger, you
steal!
god! And Keo's going to be massively behind from that.
All right, so
'cause
Ansem
he's-
coming down to fight Donger here. They're gonna catch him. Let's see if they fight it or they just walk away. Okay.
Fusel does have priority on George. George is following, but looks like nothing's gonna come of that. Keo, that's a big blow to
Yeah,
that.
and
Like,
all of that comes from the kind of like failed gank where George got to put damage on Keo, and good
half his
dodge
health.
from George and good trade back of damage. It's always a good reminder to just not just walk away. If you can get damage on the jungler, that matters. And
Yeah,
it really came into
100%.
play here.
Looking like a slight advantage for George in mid, which is kind of amazing because he spent a lot. That is one of the trade-offs. Like early on in the game, like level 2, 3, 4, if you're gonna put damage on a jungler, that is like an actual trade that you have to decide to do. Like that's expending mana, and George still has a lead. That one minion.
Yeah,
has
that's true.
lead,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
George having a good start to this game so far. Goonball and Red also doing a good job. Gotten
Doing a really nice job trading. I've been watching them for a little while, and they're just doing a good job putting damage down. In a lane they probably shouldn't be able to let Vayne put damage down, but
oh, here
you know,
we go. A lot
Red's
of
known
damage
for his
coming out.
Zyra, and he is putting some work on it.
Goonball took a lot of damage in that trade, but he still
Yeah.
has his potion, and Tidzy did not have it. So, I mean, this becomes a matter of. I mean, maybe Rixie can comment on this, but like this becomes a matter of like mana pools versus like health pool when you have a harass support like Zyra. So like if you can like weather the storm before the recall, it can definitely like help sustain you through the lane. Now let's see how Tidzy does by sitting under tower. What, 3 of those? I didn't camera panned away because I'm good at this. Reasonable. Wow, that stun landed.
Big CS lead for Radjik in the top lane right now, which is expected that Darius is going to win that matchup early.
lot
But,
of
you know,
damage.
like I said, in Champ Select, oh yeah, big fight coming in bottom,
Heal.
Kyo coming in as well.
Heal coming out of Tidzy to save that. Goonball putting damage down, tumble on cooldown, not doing too much more. Looks like Fusel kind of recouped a lot of the disadvantage he was at. He's going to probably miss some of this wave on his way back. But is able to get the first upgrade on Victor on the first back, which
That's good.
I don't. It's good and it's important to get that, but I don't entirely agree with it against Syndra specifically because you pretty much need to get a null magic mantle against Syndra on your first back.
Oh, going in deep. Junger's going in deep down here on the bottom. This is his. Oh, damage coming in, and first blood goes to Big Bad Red.
Yeah, Red George is going to pick that
wow.
up. The second blood there with the Syndra ultimate. Good roam. George playing with really, really good priority today. That's twice now.
Definitely,
That's
yeah.
twice now that he's beaten Fusel to the room.
Yeah, and his ult, I mean, he must be very recently 6. But the ult coming in right away and getting the kill on Kyo, and
Flash by Ansem in the top lane, trying to get away from this Darius. Trading into a big minion. Is he going to die to minions? He is going to die to minions and the
wow.
lane. Wow. And the first
Right?
blood turret.
Flashed aggressively.
Yeah, I saw that. It was not. It was a questionable flash.
And with that first turret, we're talking about more than a 3,000 gold lead already at
At
7 minutes.
7.5 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. If Zyra's plans can continue, this is exactly what their comp needs in order to pull this into a win.
Yeah, and
I think if they fall behind, they just lose turrets to Tristana over and over and over again. But they're in a
one of
really
their
good
win
position.
conditions. I mean, they have. I mean, if you look at it, they have three. I mean, they have 3 winning lanes. So, in theory, they should just like win, right?
Well,
Because even if you're playing scaling, right? Like even if you're playing for a scaling comp, you almost never want to have 3 losing lanes. You want to have maybe one that loses real bad, and you can manage it with like another that goes even, or like another like 2 that go even, or one that. You want to have one lane that has like at least some control over things, and it looks like they don't have any control over anything right now. Radjik's got a massive lead at the top. I like this rotation by Zyra West My Plants too. This is really, really good macro play.
and if you look, Red's only a level down on Ansem and just puts out a huge amount of damage with 2 combos, taking Ansem down to half health, which makes it so Ansem's going to have a hard time holding the turret.
this is-
Thunder might come up and dive it.
What's the button for scoreboard?
Say that again.
What's the button for scoreboard?
You.
You click the little
It's
O
U and O. Is the scroll.
or tab.
Yanking
Tab
top.
does it too.
Ansem
Everything
getting
coming in, but
dove.
yeah. And all of that came off the damage that Red was able to put on him
Goom-
before they got
George
to the turret.
solos Fusel. Oh man. George is having a great game right now.
Good fight coming in from Darius. Gets the ultimate, but does not get the kill off it. He is 1v3 down here, and he flashes over the wall to get away.
Yeah, this is an almost irrecoverable tempo lead, like tempo
Big lead.
advantage by Zyra West by Plants.
Definitely doing the right thing. Really surprising that Vayne is able to get 2 turrets before Tristana gets 1. But the Zyro pressure in lane was enough to keep him pushed in.
Yeah, I think taking that first turn was that blast code in the top lane. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I did not.
Anyway, so yeah, like getting that first turret off of that first blood, and first and second blood, like getting that first turret off of it, like it's a lot of people don't get objectives off of advantages like that. It's something that I think a lot of advantages.
Another fight coming in here. Ransom gets condemned into the wall, but is not going to die.
I mean, that's one way to get Vayne out of lane, right? Just camp the Vayne, right? I mean, they converted.
nice.
They converted on one gank, and that's where all of this came from.
Yeah.
So Zyra's doing a really, really good job snowballing their advantage. They've taken top tower now. They've denied an entire wave of CS to Ansem. He's still stuck on 35. He's barely he's level 6. And
That being said, Tussletown's getting a big push on bottom. They are teleporting in. They are going to get this inner turret. And Darius has not gotten any CS in a while. He actually had a bigger lead on Maokai and has lost some of his lead from his lane swap. But he is fighting 1v3 right now. Looks like he's trying to take Ansem down. Won't get anything with his Janna ult coming in. But looks like Keo's going to get a kill on George.
yeah, this is a good punchback. It's risky. It's definitely risky to go. And that was like using that teleport there is a very all-in play because what's it called? Zyra did get the Rift Herald out of that. 5v4 in the bot lane. So they
They're
traded.
chasing still, looking for a Darius pull. Oh, misses the pull and will die for it. So Zach ult coming in and securing 2 more kills off that Zach ult.
Still a big lead here.
Yeah, Zach hold onto the Zyro. It's pretty filthy.
Yeah. It's like, what, like
And gets the
4
pull,
seconds of
too.
CC.
And this is one of the reasons Zach is banned so much. He just has so much chase potential.
You don't even need to hit your E anymore. Like that's what's like so ridiculous. Wow.
So did you get 4 kills? Right? 4 kills off that. Oh, and they're summoning
yeah.
Rift Herald right down here. I don't know that this Rift Herald's going to get anything at all. I don't agree with this Rift Herald play right here. It looks like it's
I
just
mean,
gonna
I
get
didn't
one
see if it was.
charge.
I didn't see if it was
Oda.
timing it out. Like, maybe it was timing it out.
No, they just got it recently. So
So, summing things up a little bit, I very, very risky play blowing the teleport to force that bottom turret, but I do think at some point, like you gotta take a chance, like to punch back in games like this where you are at a massive disadvantage against this team that debatably scales better than you, or at least is, I mean they definitely have a stronger mid game than this team. So I like the idea. I like the counterplay, like that from a macro standpoint that Tussletown brought out, forcing that bot tower, and you know they gave him some more kills for it, but they didn't lose. They didn't lose another tower. Well, they lost mid, I guess, but.
and the zoning that they did, that Tussle managed on Darius, really has put
Flash
Maokai back into the
stun by
game.
George here, exhaust going on Foozle. Don't really know why that happened, but so flash and exhaust down for George. He's going to be a vulnerable target. Hopefully Foozle's communicating that to his team.
All right, you see Kane has his warrior completed, so look for that one-shot potential.
Look for the one. We'll look for the one shot, everybody, and this champ's busted. Quote 90 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Worth noting, I mean, I guess it's not that big a deal in his Zyra lane, but Goon only has one of the 5 kills he's been a part of. I guess Vayne
True,
takes the
but
money
he
that-
also got like a free pass out of laning phase against the Tristana. So
Flash
big
forwards.
aggressive play from Red, and might die to the does die to the Victor ultimate, but is traded back by Zyra's plants.
was actually
a lot of Goonball.
It was actually, I mean, considering he had no flash, that's actually a really, really good trade. He traded flash for, I mean, it's support, but I guess it's not because Goon got the kill. But
Yeah.
he traded a flash and an ult for a kill, or 1-for-1 without his summoner. So you could say a net gain, but it's not always a net gain when Goon gets it. So
Not a net gain when it's got by the vein. something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Let's meme this.
Hot fire.
I gotta fire up some beats. Tuba's gonna record a rap album right now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The mic for it.
You got the mic. Spitting on the mic. So I mean, considering this was a 3K gold lead at 7 minutes, what is Donger thinking?
Donger is very much by himself, but he does have Red with him. Red is down.
This fight is nuts.
and-
It's gone over 2 walls already. I don't know what's.
Yeah.
Tristol knocks out the Darius. Looking like
Donger made it out, but Darius gets a big heal, but is still in the middle of 5 people. And
Looking like Tussletown definitely got the better of that with a 2-for-1. That was a
Yeah.
wacky fight. A lot of
Yeah,
displacements.
an oddly aggressive play from Donger. Red
Really,
with the backup, but loses his life for it.
yeah, pretty important that Fuzil was able to pick up his 3rd upgrade for his Hex Core before that fight happened, which I think helped him get like at least another 2 ticks worth of his ults for damage in that fight. That was a really good fight, though. I mean, that being said, all right, so I think we all agree that that Zyra has the better mid game comp, for sure. Do they have the better late game comp? I don't like.
Yeah.
Let's say we stall this game out to, everybody's got 65k gold or 70k gold and everyone's full build.
I think Maokai becomes unkillable, can disrupt Vayne enough that Triss can just clean up.
Yeah, I think the same
I
thing.
feel like
Plus,
Tussle has
also
the,
the
has
King
the
potential. I don't know Kyo's prowess on Kane.
I
but
mean, Zyra had a 3K gold lead, at 7
At
minutes.
7
Now,
minutes.
16 minutes later,
It's the same.
and it's still a 3K gold lead. So, really 2.5 right now. So,
Yeah. So if you look at it that way, then Tussletown's actually done a really good job. That bot play was a good punchback, and that team
It
fight
was,
they just
yeah.
had now is another one.
Yeah.
That's a classic like stop the bleeding type of move. It's kind of risky because it was a big wacky team fight, and it took that to get it, but they got it done. So
the other factor is, part of the reason why Zyra took that bad trade with the inner turret was because they were getting Rift Herald, and then the kind of lackluster use of Rift Herald was, made it so they couldn't gain anything back, and they couldn't keep the trading forward.
yeah, that's a good point. That is an interesting dynamic with the Rift Herald. And you see this a lot in like solo queue too, but like you don't expect to see this much in fives, but like sometimes situations pop up where it's like, I mean, either your time out or there's like you don't set up for proper use of it, and all of a sudden that advantage that you had isn't really an advantage.
Ooh, smooth tornado from Monster Energy to disengage Donger
Just
there.
walks away. Look at the Janna mechanics.
Yeah.
It's got to be the bird. It's got to be the circling bird. I'm convinced. It's magic.
Yeah, Maokai is totally back in the game, but this is a dangerous time because when Darius has Cleaver and Merc Treads too in this case, and Maokai doesn't have a completed item, it's you got to be really careful in the 1v1. But it looks like he's just farming on turret.
Tussletown doing a reasonable job. They know what's going on. I'm glad they're not forcing this down a member. 'Cause Darius can definitely get to this. I mean, he's like right there. He can make some plays on it already. But giving up the red buff, so Zyra taking some advantage of that here, trying to regain control of this. Not to say that they're out of control, but they've definitely thrown some of their lead, I think.
What are you guys spectating?
We are casting.
We are
advantage of the
try
game.
casting.
What is that?
Josh, you trying to cast this game that we're already halfway through spectating?
Alright, how do I do that?
You can't. Or maybe you can. You could spectate.
No, you can't. I
Red
tried
Bucket
already.
Spectate on
You
me.
can spectate. We have Jake here now too. What the?
Oh wow.
It won't let me. It won't let me spectate the game you guys are watching.
Do you
maybe
have?
because it's tournament draft and you can't just like spectate it.
Maybe, but I don't. I think they have to spectate someone that's actually in the game. I don't know if they have any of them added. Is the question.
I think it's maybe because they click no spectators, and so only the people who are in the spectator slot can spectate, and it won't let anyone who's just
Yeah.
like right clicking.
Wow.
Maybe we'll get you next game. We'll invite you for next game. Oh my God, the burst!
What are you guys watching? Like, who is it?
Alright,
Just Randy.
Goonball. It's the second and I believe third place team
Oh, really?
for our division.
All right, I'm gonna chill in with Jamesy. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Josh. No, he left already, I think. Cousin Josh.
All right, Tussletown does get top turret, but it looks like Zyra's. Maybe they won't get the turret.
Oh man, a lot of CC coming through.
Yeah, there's the
God,
Zackle.
I think
Pulls
he's
in Foozle and almost gets Keo, but he does survive the single ultimate.
Goonball quietly racking up some kills here.
Yeah.
Picked up 2.
Big waves coming in top and bottom, so Zyra's Plants does the right thing and backing off to pull grab those waves.
I want to see Tussletown step up, try to ward Raptor Camp to make sure they don't get Zack ulted and try to take this mid tower. I guess they're gonna opt out of that.
Still sitting at that 3K gold lead. You got to wonder how Tussletown is feeling. It would be really easy to think at this point in the game that they're behind. And really, at this point in the game, it says 5 kills to 12, so it's easy when you're in the game to look at that and say, "Oh, well, we're really far behind. We got to play really carefully."
Yeah.
When in reality,
This is a really good play. That's a great play. You're gonna get a tower out of that more than likely. At the very least, you got to teleport. This is good shot calling, presumably by Keo. Keo, as far as I understand, does a lot of shot calling. I mean, he's done the shot calling for the majority of from almost every team I've seen him on. I think that's another good punchback play. Where, I mean, they didn't even lose
the
that
turret
much.
here. Zyra does have good wave clear. Zyra just evaporates that wave right there.
It's just gonna take another wave, I think. Hello. This is the problem with overstaying against Zack is you gotta be careful you don't get like a 1, 2, or 3 minute. You don't want to get like 2 or more people caught in Zacky combo. So he hands 1. He lands on Jan. That's not the best target. Pulls 2 back into the tower. Jan all canceled by it. Lots of damage coming out by Food.
Nobody touching Tristana. She's gonna go wild.
Just on his full health. Gets Zack queued back in to prevent the reset off Zyra, but he's going to get it off of Zack anyway. It looks like he's probably going to be
you're right,
tired,
though. Not enough people on Tristana, no one on Tristana, so, Tussletown takes the fight. And if that's what the late game's going to look like, Tussletown's going to take it.
Yeah, George.
Like, this is the big strength of the Tussletown team, though, too, is like they have ridiculous disengage and a pretty hyper carry, where Zyra only has one form of engage, which is Zack.
Yeah.
Everyone else has to run up close and put themselves vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, that was something we talked about.
Mr. Mayor of Huevos.
Yeah, Mayor of Huevos checking in. Checking in. We have 4 of the 5 now.
Yeah. I missed the picks and bans of this, but the only thing I don't like about Tussletown's team as a whole is the Kayn seems weird. The Kayn doesn't fit the team comp.
Kayn actually was picked up very late in the draft too, so they could have picked something else there.
But,
like,
last, I think. Or
I don't
last.
Yeah, like
disagree
the
with
rest-
having, like a high damage jungler. They've got a good front
It's
line
not
with
the-
Janna.
Yeah, it's not the high damage jungler to me. It's that the rest of their team is kind of sitting back, getting chip damage or disengaging, where Kayn just wants to go in.
That's fair. But he's also very safe when he goes in by himself because he's just hard to kill.
But I feel like with their comp, you got the Maokai King going in dealing damage to frontline and or backline. You got Victor kind of chilling in the middle, hitting and also disengaging, and then you have the Triss just sitting in the back, just destroying everything. So it provides like targets that need to be killed, while Triss can just go haywire.
Yeah, Goon pretty big on Vayne, but now Tidzy just as big on Tristana, so
Yeah, Tizzy was, on a reasonable, pace to reach her item clips and everything before this, but now it's kind of gets accelerated by that fight. Oh my God, Frizzle just deletes red.
yep, that's the danger.
Hey, that Lich Bane Victor, man, that'll pop you if you're squishy. Not something you always see, by the way. It's good. Oh, 4-man stun, just for style points, I guess. But quit that caster meter for 420, Tizzy. I saw that. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, so what I was saying was like the Lichbane rush on Victor, you don't see that often, especially against bigger front lines, but later in the game it is very, very good when you have to play front to back, because it does add a lot to his DPS, looking like Kyo's gonna get caught here. Syndra ulted, Zac Q'd. Zac not gonna be able to follow up the Q.
Kayn just really hard to kill, and then the turnaround comes back on Donger.
Yeah, I think the point we made on Champ Select about if this gets to late, not being able to have anybody get to Zyrol's not going to get anything. We're about to get the stun on one monster there. If this does get to late game, they don't have a reliable way to get to Tidzy, because, I mean, outside of like a Zac E that actually lands on Triss, which should never happen, right? Like, I don't...
Well, the thing with that is even if it does land, he'll see the circle coming. He can queue up his W, and if he gets knocked up, the W will go through and the jump will continue.
Yeah.
So,
and even if he's slow to react to that, you can still ult. You can ult him away when he Qs you. So, no truly good, reliable way to get onto Tidzy. So as long as Tidzy has the money and his frontline holds up, then it's going to be a big problem.
And with Maokai at 2 items, the front line's got to hold up. I mean, he'll need a little more magic resist at some point, but you know, he's pretty beefy. And that's what I was saying about Ansem too earlier. He was at a pretty big deficit early, and he knows how to play from behind. And
he manages his disadvantages.
Yeah.
It's an important skill, especially when you get something I think a lot of the Vanish teams should know is that is an important skill to learn, because especially in a team setting, unlike I mean, it happens in solo queue too, but in a team setting especially, there's certain plays that can happen. First of all, you can make mistakes. That happens to everybody. But there's certain plays that can happen that maybe you're not prepared for. The other team just makes a good game plan and prepares for you. You can't prep for everything. So if you end up getting in a situation where you're behind, you got to be able to manage your losses and cut your losses and stop the bleeding.
Righteous Glory comes out. They are going for Radjek here. 4 men on him, 5 men on him, and Godlike Tristana.
Yeah, way too overextended there.
The right play coming out of Zyros Plants here, Russian mid, instead of trying to answer the Baron or try to check if they're on Baron.
A lot of good back and forth objective trading in this game, which I think has been, I don't know, at least in our games, has been lacking. I don't know if that's that we are playing our advantages cleaner or what, but both teams in this game are punching back pretty effectively.
Yeah, I'd say this game, there's a lot more just aggressive play calling than from what I've seen throughout the whole season on both sides.
Nobody's rolling over in this game. This is a slugfest.
This is good. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's a close game right now. It's still. No.
I mean, Tussletown's in the lead now.
Yeah.
They were 3K plus down
for a long
7
time.
minutes. Yeah. All the way up into the 20s, and they've recouped that lead. And Tristana.
And Radjek doing the thing I was contemplating is getting a fight going out.
Zac hits nobody with his engage. Gets to ult Tristana though, so never mind.
Wow, Tristana falls down, which means fight should go handily over to Zyros Plants.
Yeah, Tidzy had flash there. I feel like there's no reason.
Well, he failed to walk out too. He walked back into. He was out and then walked back in.
That's potentially going to lose them a Baron here
finish
too.
Finish off Ansem, and it looks like Baron's probably going to go. Let's see. Looks like Donger's going back in. Does lose his passive.
Donger playing so disrespectful, by the way. That's the third time that he's blind E'd into that bush.
Yeah, not a lot of vision for them over here, so.
Wondering. I mean, that's likely going to be the Baron, right? Fuzul no ultimate. Has the Ghost and the Flash. You can make an aggressive play on this.
Red doing a nice job zoning off, but he's only zoning Janna and not Fuzul. But Baron does go over to Zyros Plants. Woo! And Fuzul pops. Magic.
Wow. I want everybody to look really
Wow.
quick at the items that Vayne and Tristana both have, and look at how heavily in favor of Tristana that trade went. Like, it wasn't even close. I mean, Vayne didn't have ultimate. Or did he not? Did he have it and not ultimate? I didn't see it.
I didn't see either.
Yeah, I mean, it's off cooldown. Maybe he's just waiting for the cooldown.
So Baron goes over to Zyra's plants, but only 2 people are retaining it. Touchdown able to get a few kills after the Baron and
Trade
then
the
move
tower
in a
back.
turret.
Yeah, trade the
So
tower
still,
back.
you know, a good, solid back and forth game.
Yeah, this has been a really good game so far. Not the cleanest, but I like when teams have good counterpunches to things. Like you can't just like roll over. You got to make some plays to get back into the game, whether that's macro or micro plays. Like maybe you just got to take some risk on the trade or something. But both teams exhibiting, you know, good counter plays like from a macro standpoint in this game. Good shot calling all around, I think.
It's worth noting that, okay, well, now Magic Resistance spot on Ansem, but both top laners were sitting on just Merc Shreds and no heavy Magic Resist, against some 2 pretty big, you know, pretty worthy control mages that are able to put out a decent amount of damage on a tank. But, you know, both AD carries are pretty wildly fed right now, so, you know, prioritizing armor is certainly not the wrong thing.
Syndra, George and Fuzil doing so much damage right now. Both have Wood Staff completed already. Like, Fuzil gets caught by Goomball. Nice play by Goomball on the backside of that. He's barely going to walk away from the Tizzy.
And
Tizzy's going
Tizzy is picked up.
The 1v1 in the bot lane. Man, that's blowing up.
And that's going to surely be top inhibitor for Zyra's plants.
And maybe Rixie can comment on this more, but some of the positioning on the part of Tizzy here has been suspect.
Yeah, he was kind of caught over on the side, hopped over the wall, and then it didn't matter that he was on the turret.
It was a good play on Goomball's part, picking Fuzil, but maybe... I mean, in that situation, I think Tizzy's better off just, like, playing damage from the other side of the wall. Right?
Going for Nexus turrets, and they do get the kill on
Could be the game.
both. Yeah, might be the game.
Top lane.
With Kio's death and Monster's death again,
Yeah,
that
it's gonna be
it might be game 1 right here.
Fuzil is up.
It's going to be... We'll see. Ansem comes in, low health, but...
Tizzy
Alright,
resets.
pick him
Tizzy
up.
resets. No, he
There's-
slays her. Oh, the flash over the root. Okay.
All right, well, still in it. Both Nexus towers are gone. I can't even talk. Nexus towers are gone.
We got a whole nother
turrets or
game.
Towers. I know, yeah.
How's that bourbon going, brother?
Hey.
Just perfect.
Little loose lips there, eh?
Hey.
All old tuba loose lips.
So we. Oh my god. So, I mean, really, all right. So we looked at the 2 compositions where basically you had two strong carries with a lot of support and front line for both, right? Varying levels on both sides of Kane versus Zax, debatable, but both sets of carries are both fed, both hitting the right in peaks when they should be for this level of play. Front lines are relatively even again. Gold is, 4K and the advantage of Zyra, but again, this ends up mattering less and less as the game goes on. I picked Zyra to win this game, but I'm liking Tussletown's chances now, even with the inhibitor down. Zyra's got to push the advantage now, because the longer this goes, the worse it gets for them.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, 2 Nexus turrets down, but certainly Tussletown is not out of it. There's a strong chance that you're still able to pull this win.
So, I definitely don't agree with the Hex Drinker on the Tristana. It's not really going to save you from Syndra. I'm assuming it's really all it's there for is protection
Yeah.
from Syndra ults. I guess Zyra too, but I mean, if you're going to go that route, the GA would really be the option.
It really does seem like when you're playing AD carry, you can't afford defensive items.
Yeah, I mean, outside of like,
Quicksilver Sash being like the one exception.
yeah, that's
I'd be okay with the QSS for Syndra
light
Stun
steal.
Zyra route,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
how about? I mean, in this situation, I feel like.
I mean, the
Bloods
Hex
are
Drinker, the lifeline proc from the Hexdrinker, which gives you all that life steal and stuff until it ends or whatever, which is
Well, that's
pretty
only on the
good.
Maw,
But I
right?
just don't.
So, I think the lifesteal is only on the Maw.
Well, yeah, the Maul proc, but which is obviously I'm assuming he's going for eventually. So,
Yeah.
but the QSS would definitely be more of a, I believe, better option. I would probably have built GA personally.
Nice jab. Monster with the quick reflexes down there. Nobody on Tizzy. Tizzy 3 DPSing. A lot of damage coming out. George P. Riddell and Goonball are going to pop Kyasha in.
First death is on the side of Tussletown. It is a 5v4.
Nice
And
engage.
pull comes in on Foozle.
Tizzy relatively low. Good disengagement monster. Good team fight on both sides of this. Zyra got the better part of it. Just more damage coming out. Keo wasn't able to ult anybody. He just got insta-pop, so more damage coming out on the side of Zyra was my plans just because basically a 4v5.
Remarkably similar scores from the 80 carries all throughout this game, both sitting at 11 kills. It really has been a battle of the 80 carries this game.
Not to discredit either Fruzel or George for making a lot of plays in there.
True, yeah, a lot of plays coming out of mid lane.
Still not over. I mean, triple inhib with no Nexus turrets is extremely difficult to come back from, but
That is true.
they have good wave clear. The top inhibitor is going to be coming up reasonably soon. I mean, Baron's going to be up in 15 seconds or so, so it's going to be a problem. I think they gotta either. I don't think they can afford to give this Baron. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Like, I don't think you can afford to give this at all. Like, you just gotta.
I don't know if
make
they
a
can
play.
afford to fight it though.
I don't know that they can contest it with 3. Yeah.
All right, so let's hypothetically think about the 1% chance they actually get this game, right? Like, how do they do that? It's got to be like, do they stay in wave clear and then go for a steal?
1 team fights in their base.
Yeah, it's got to be like 3 or 4 one-team fights in their base. Like, at this point, it's like a 14-minute game plan to get back into the game and win the
Yeah.
game. It's not.
It's
like
a 5-year plan. It's a 5-year.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting the Baron stalls a little bit. But I think in a situation like this, you give them the Baron, you push out some rage,
And you just
they
gotta
come
hope.
into
You
your
just gotta
base,
hope
and
Zyra makes a mistake.
maybe you get a one fight, or maybe someone pushes up too fast. Like Red's by himself right now. If they have wards there, or if they get a kill on him, then suddenly it's stalled better than getting
They
the
do
Baron
have an
anyway.
inhibitor back, but I don't know. You guys might disagree. I kind of think the call there is to steal only. Nice attempted pick there. Red's gonna
Definitely
flash
nice,
out.
yeah.
Really, really close. That would have helped for sure.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, Red's putting down a lot of zone control in these fights, so getting the kill on him would have been really useful.
Tidzy just
Lane
getting
goes in, gets rocket sent
stunned.
out,
Oh,
takes
yes.
it down, and that'll be the game for Zyra's plans.
right through the hex drinker. It's sure. I mean, maybe I'm nuts, but it sure as hell feels like if you eat any of the CC from Zach, you're just done. Right? It feels that way, right?
Yeah,
I mean, because he didn't even eat the E there. It was just the Q, and then he just died. Didn't even get ulted. Zach missed the E on Trist, hit the Q, pulled the Q, and in that Q period, George landed a stun, and he got the kill off of it.
so that's got to be a better incentive to get QSS, right? Like, I don't know. I assume you can QSS off the Q.
I'm not sure if you can QSS the Zach grasp like the Q once it lands. Maybe you
I don't
can.
know.
I don't know. Actually, no. I've never tried it. But I don't know. I picked Zyra to win this game, and they did, so I'm happy about that. But I do think that Tussletown clawed back into this game and probably should have won it. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
I agree. Yeah, they managed the deficit early perfectly well, kept that 3K deficit. Like, there was a 3K deficit at 7 minutes, and they kept it 3K for a solid 12 minutes, and then you had the lead shortly after that.
Yeah,
I feel like they had the better late game. I feel like Tidzy's positioning wasn't perfect and
I
kind
think
of
that's all this was.
cost them a few team fights.
Yeah, not to point fingers or anything, 'cause there were some other issues as well, but just positioning in team fights. I mean, looking at the damage now, oh my god. Red did 27, Goonball's Vayne did 28, Tidsy's did 22, and Fuzel's Victor did 26. So similar, like I mean, it's similar damage, but it's not similar damage because Zyra has an extra damage dealer on their team. Period.
Yeah, and with Tristana having a higher range too, you got to feel like she should have put out more damage than the Vayne, but.
Well, just
It's
be
hard
safer
with
in
the
those,
Zac
be
on your
safer in
face the
those
whole time.
fights. Yeah, I mean, again, like it only takes one piece of the CC landing, and
True,
that's all it
true.
that's all it takes. So if they start the draft, go ahead and cast that. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
All right, peanut butter chocolate dipped chewy bar in hand, ready to go for the second game.
I had to step away at the end of that for some Vegas packing.
Ooh.
Think I can snag an invite to the spectator spot?
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, because the lobby's all full. We got to get Dan in here too. Let me ask one that can move.
Yo, correct me if I'm wrong, but am I seeing a John from Kyo right now?
A what?
There are no Johns in Vantage League, okay? No excuses. I think my mouse is fine now, though. Oh, okay, sure, dude. You got it. Calling you out, Kyo. Come at me. So, Zyra does what they need to do. I'm just saying. I called it. The great prognosticator. Didn't happen in the way I thought it would, but
Sorry, Jake, we can't get you in until the game starts. Sorry.
I don't think I'll be able to get in when the game starts.
where's Base Con? Do we want to get Josh up in here? Josh probably playing a game. He's probably 1v1ing somebody. I think that might actually be true. Let me see. I'm looking.
Okay, we're ready for our post game interview.
It's gotta.
There's no post-game interview. Get the hell back in the game. We got another game to play.
the interview in between game 1 and 2. Let's go.
Yeah.
There is no in-between game interview. It's only the post-game. Does that mean you guys are BMing? Are you guys BMing that you're going to win in the second game? Get the hell.
Huh?
Get out of this channel. Get
Too bad.
out of this channel.
Tell me you're sorry. Okay, I'm gone. Bye. Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
You go to your room.
It's got to be worth something that all of Tussletown has matching Rift Rivals icons.
Oh, you know what? Ooh, yeah, that's actually dang. I'm a fan of that. The rainbow.
Yeah, they got a nice color.
We need Tussletown to get the rainbow too, so we could have double rainbow for the
All the
full
way
cap
across the
for
sky?
for the full Twitch chat kappa. There. So we do it. Why can't I edit this? I got Did they swap sides? I didn't see. Looks like they swapped sides. Yeah, they did.
Yes.
So Zyra is gonna select blue. Did we find out who selected what for game 1? Did Tussletown select blue side. And Zyra just got red, or was it the other way around? I didn't see. It doesn't
I didn't
matter.
see.
Doesn't matter. We got there. So, what if anything you think is going to change in the draft from game 2? Also, drinks of choice for game 2.
You have to believe there's going to be a Zyra ban coming out.
Understood.
I would think so.
I would think a Zyra and a Zac ban, but
Yeah, I feel the same way. Rixie, what do you think?
Zach and Zyra, I would hope.
Is Jake in here?
I'm here. I wasn't able to get a spectator spot though.
Mayor of Huevos. Thoughts on pick and ban? Letting that team get Zyra and Zac?
No, I mean, Donger's essentially a Zac one trick. You don't let him get Zac, and Red is also a Zyra one trick. So Zac is actually a really good champion in a 5 setting, so that's a no-brainer.
I think so.
one of them is coming through because they're banning.
I feel
Malzahar
like-
and Culligan.
I feel like you ban the Zac over the Zyra. The Zyra is easily played around. You pick it's a very squishy champion.
I mean, for what it's worth, from our experience playing with Red, also, is if you ban the Zyra, he is a great Zyra player, but if you ban the Zyra, he's got a whole bunch of other tricks up his sleeve, so I kind of think the Zac's more important.
Plus, the thing with Red though too, when he plays Zyra, he does a lot of damage, but he dies a lot too. So
I feel like Donger's gonna get his Zac again.
you want to be someone that can capitalize on the fact that he's going to give you kills.
True, but neither of these mid laners are really assassin players. Both are
true.
kind of control mages, so
Yeah. So, looks like Tussletown's gonna go ahead and ban the Zyra, give the Zac over. They're gonna kick back with Cho'Gath and yada 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 yada. I can't go any higher than that right now. So, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I would go Cho'Gath Janna.
Cho'Gath.
That would be
Janna,
my
Cho'Gath.
choice.
The Maokai did get banned this time. So, what did they ban before? I'm trying to remember.
well, we'll see how much Kyo values Kane to
Tristana, very high priority on
if he ends up
Tristana,
picking
which
it again. Which isn't wrong.
I mean, I agree with it. Rixie agrees with that. I know that.
We'll see though, because they picked the Cho, but they know Rajek's got the Darius ready, which is not a bad lane into Cho. So
Well, all right. So here's an interesting question, right? I'm going to ask Rixie this because I think, I don't know how strong. He seems like he feels pretty strongly about it, but how high of a priority is Triss? Is she that much better than the rest of the field at AD carry that you should be picking
I think
her?
she's the best AD carry in the game.
By
Yeah,
a long, by a
before
long
this
shot or just
patch-
by a little bit?
Before this patch, Kate made an argument for the best AD carry.
See, but I would take Tristan to Kate any day. I don't like Kate into Trist. I
So
think
is that
Tristana
a big
beats
is that a
Caitlyn.
big enough gap that she just becomes a high enough priority to take her over?
Okay, right there. Jinx is probably my answer to Tristana.
Yeah.
Long enough
Yeah.
range to compete against it, better AoE damage.
It's the same job except
Resets,
AoE.
but
Both reset. Jinx has the AoE. She's a little riskier earlier, I feel like, right?
yes.
But other than that, I mean, they're basically the same champion. Jinx slightly higher upside, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can go off better with Jinx, but I
Ooh,
mean,
Blitzcrank coming out. I like the Blitzcrank pick into the Vel'Koz Jinx.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
I'm
Yeah,
100%
you want to
that.
try to punish the no escape lane.
Totally.
We can all be real because we've played with Red on our team before. Can we just say it? What? Nobody played Blitzcrank against us, and Blitzcrank would have been hard counter to his entire champion.
Totally.
pool.
Yeah.
I want to see Keo play something kind of tanky. I know he favors towards the carry champions out of Joker. I want to see him play like a Jarvan. So it has that carry potential, but it's also a tank.
I'd like to see Gragas or Jarvan. I mean, Gragas has gotten through draft in both of these games, and I think it's just a.
That's what I was
super
thinking.
good
He should have picked
champion.
in the last game. I think Gragas perfectly fit the team comp. Gragas is a decent pick into Zac because you can body slam his engage.
Yeah, you wonder if Rejic's going to go tank versus tankier since he got the Darius band.
Well, I mean, what are the odds that Keo takes the Cho into the jungle too? Swain,
that's
Swain
true. I
band
didn't
coming in
think about
against Ansem. So Talia band against Fuzel. Swain against Ansem. Darius against Rajic, and Kled also against Rajic. Has he been playing Kled? I haven't looked.
I personally think Cho is a better jungler than a top laner. That's just because he can stack
I think he's a
better.
better top laner.
I think you capitalize
Well,
on the stacks better out
your
of the
wish.
jungle.
You got your wish, Mayor. The
Yeah.
Jarvan coming out, presumably for Kyo. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
still a
it's,
double
it's
flex.
still up in the air. Like they haven't picked their top laner yet. I think they leave it as a flex pick, and whichever one has the better matchup, they put top lane.
Yeah, I agree.
Certainly possible. I don't know if Ansem plays Jarvan.
Yeah, I've usually seen him
Ours is a
on
really good
tanks
choice
or
here.
Darius.
Nars a really smart choice.
Yeah, I
here.
agree. Because against either, it's pretty decent, right? Like
Yeah.
Jarvan's probably the worst of the two, right?
Jarvan's better, I think.
Well, better.
Also,
right?
Nar is
Yeah,
what I felt was like something like Nar is what I felt was actually missing from their team comp last game, where they had some
Yeah.
sort of secondary engage or follow up engage.
Totally. Yeah.
Diana from Fusel.
Wow. That's a surprise.
Wow.
Th-
Okay.
I do like that though, because like it capitalizes on Red's aggressive playstyle. Like he is always an easy kill to get for an assassin.
That's true. I mean, the wave.
I mean, that Diana has 3 one-shot targets. Like, she can
That's
100 out of
true.
3 people
Very
on my
true.
team.
Very true.
And it's
Um,
not
I-
like there's instant disengage from Zac or Vel'Koz. Like, it's just gonna happen. Like, Syndra E is the only thing stopping her from one-shotting somebody.
I feel like a lot of this
do-
game in the mid late game where team fights are bringing out is going to come down to whether or not Blitzcrank hits the right target. I mean, that's always how it is. But like, if Blitzcrank pulls a Zac in, they're going to lose the fight.
Well, what's interesting too is like when you combine Blitzcrank with Diana, like that's a lot of like like that and the true damage from Cho'Gath Devour. Like that's a
They
lot
have-
of one-shot potential for Triss to start getting the resets before Goodball
Yes,
gets
they
there.
have outstanding pick potential, and actually, like, I like their team comp a lot. They have really good pick potential. Actually, pretty good team fight. The Jarvan and the Cho'Gath synergize really well because Jarvan gives you an automatic rupture.
Yeah.
That being said, I actually predict Zyre's Plants to win this one.
I like Zyre's team comp a lot better, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
I think
think-
Minar is going to be a big factor in this game, and I think that the if the Diana doesn't get rolling, then
It's
Syndra
really
just takes
bad.
this game.
It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
big thing I see playing to Zyra's favor in this game is the portable terrain that Jarvan's going to provide for an ult.
That's true too. I mean, I think this is an interesting fight of like who does their damage faster, because I think there's gonna be potentially fights where like a person on each side's gonna get deleted right away in this game,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be resets versus resets on Jinx and Tristana, and who benefits more from that. All right, so maybe you guys disagree with this. I personally think Jinx resets are way more impactful than Tristana resets.
I think the one-shot potential on the Jinx is easier than the one-shot on the Tristana, though. Like, you have Cho'Gath, you have Jarvan. They can easily... Like, Jarvan's going to close the gap. Cho'Gath can then get in there and eat her.
Yeah, and it's not
And
like
Cho'Gath can easily eat over Jarvan walls once he gets a few stacks. Like he can.
Yeah, that's
his
true.
his chomp has some range once he gets some.
Yeah,
some,
on top of that, like, you
some
can actually
stacks.
auto-attack through the Jarvan walls at, like, 6 stacks, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
This is a tough one to call. I kind of like the Zyra comp more, but like, I mean,
I feel like the Zyra-
Blitzpools can literally win this game. Like,
Yeah,
If
Zyra
Kid-
has a more cohesive team comp. Like, their comp makes sense. You know what they're trying to do in a team fight.
I think they're
Where
also better at
Tussletown
burning
is-
frontline too, right? Like, do you guys agree with that or disagree with that?
I think
Like,
so. I think so.
Like Vel'Koz ultimate does so much damage, and like if you Vel'Koz ult and Syndra ult someone, they're dying unless they Zhonya's. Period. And against this team, the only person that's gonna be able to Zhonya's is Fusel, and it's gonna be like second item,
If
maybe
that,
third item.
maybe third,
Yeah, like maybe third item. Yeah, because she wants. I mean, a lot of Diana's your proto belt now. I don't always agree with that. I don't know. Diana's a weird champion. Like there's people that make it work. I've tried to make it work in the past. It's extremely difficult to play. I don't know what kind of. I'm just gonna look it up now. You guys can riff.
Well,
I think
haven't
a lot
seen
of it-
Diana in a game in a long time.
I like the laning phase for Tussletown a lot. I feel like if they execute laning phase properly, they can't lose this.
I don't
They-
know.
See, I like the landing phase for Zyra
I think
more.
Gnar wins top. I think Fusel wins mid on. I think Syndra
I
wins
think-
mid, and
I actually
Bob's
think
kind of a toss-up.
if he is good on Diana, I don't think Fusel wins mid.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
ahead
Pre
and
six,
say.
it's got to go to Syndra.
All right, so preliminary research. He has next to no Diana played on his main account, assuming that he has a Smurf account.
Maybe
He
he's got,
has on his main
SCC
account.
Diana only too.
On
I
his,
can't get into
on-
spectate, so I'm going to be a little behind.
On his main account, he is 2-0, averaging 15.5 kills per game in those 2 games
On Diana.
on Diana, including a triple kill. No quads
Wow.
or a penta.
Okay.
So maybe he's playing it on a
Averaging
Smurf, and he's
15
been playing. He has not played it in the first 2 collections of match history. So like the last 38 games or whatever it is. So unless he's been playing it on a Smurf, now he hasn't played on his main in 3 days. So there's a chance he's been playing it on a Smurf.
Another
It's not
thing
exactly
to
a
note is the double
frequent-
TP.
Yeah, not exactly a frequent pick for him. So yeah, so
Yeah, double TP could do some good things this game, but also the exhaust is going to be really big on George. So
Yeah, I think with the double TP, Fuzel's just looking to survive lane. He's not looking to actually solo kill the Syndra. He's looking to keep Syndra under tower if possible, and then make plays elsewhere. Which
What?
Diana is pretty good at pushing.
all right, so just before any crazy level 1 shit happens,
looks like it might.
predictions.
Oh man, this is going to be a big level 1 brawl.
Quick predictions, Tuba, go.
I think Zadarius Plants takes it.
Rixie, go.
This is going to be
Zyrus.
big. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I would go with
Mayor.
Zyrus as well, but I
Are
think
we unanimous,
it is-
Cyrus? Here we go.
it
Oh,
is
no!
it is a very volatile game. So it's,
unbelievable that no one died here.
How did? Wow. Okay, no summoners blown.
That's insane that there was no summoners blown.
That's really good discipline on both parts, by the way.
Yeah, I think if Monster pulls anybody but the Zac there, they get a kill. I think they
Yeah.
didn't commit.
Because
I
of
think-
Zach.
Honestly, if he pulls anybody but Zac, I think both teams get a kill because I think Tussletown just commits more then. But
Yeah, I think Tussletown probably gets the first blood, and then there's a trade
also
back.
Cho'Gath didn't start with Rupture there. He started with Scream, which severely
Huh.
like. I think if you had Rupture, they get a kill and possibly get out alive.
I feel like Feral Scream is never the right choice for level 1 for Cho right now. If you're
if you're in the lane, you want to take the E.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going for the invade and you're hard commit on the invade, you want Rupture. Like Rupture
Yeah.
is one of the best level 1 CCs there are.
Totally. Yeah, I think yeah, for the invade, Rupture's fine, but yeah, you're right. In lane, you gotta hit Purple Spikes to push, and he's got neither one, so his level 1's pretty gimped and already losing the matchup. So
Well, it's actually. I mean, now we've got somebody in every position pretty much on the map here. We can kind of comment on this. So, like lane wise, like I think so. Too. What's the deal with top lane here? What's this top lane matchup like?
Cho has a frustrating amount of sustain. It's almost impossible to whittle him down in a really frustrating way. But Gnar has some really good damage, and once he gets basically to level 3, he's gonna have a lot of kill pressure on Cho, which is the same time as a lot of the junglers will come top. So something big might happen at level 3 top lane. Not a whole lot's gonna happen until then.
Just real quickly, level 2 hit first by Moonball and Big Bad Red in this comp. How about bot lane? How's this go? I presume it's predicated on blitz pulls, but is there anything more
It's
nuanced?
100% on blitz pulls. I mean, way more damage on Jinx, Vel'Koz, but
So there's an invade
blitz
coming
pull.
in.
Could be in a bit of trouble. Radchik really late on the rotation. Looking like he's probably just going to flash out.
Smite keeps Donger alive, but that means he doesn't have Smite to try to take the blue back. There's a 2v2 now. But yeah,
Really good. There's a 3-buff start by
One by Tussle.
Tussletown. Taking control of the early game. In this one, not wanting the same thing to happen again. Jungle-wise, anything specific you want to talk about for this matchup, Mayor? We got gang coming in the top lane real quickly. doesn't look like they are going to commit to this. 2v2. Zach does have passive still.
I think Tulsatown gets a big win here, but we'll see. Flashes out on Gnar. They are going to get a kill on Donger.
It looks like that's going to be first blood.
That's
See
going
if
to
they
be first
hand
blood.
over
We'll
the
see who they get
teleport
it.
coming
Oh,
in.
I don't think that's going to keep them alive.
I don't know if that was
Oh, looks
worth
like
it.
almost. Oh.
Was that like the worst accident ever or what?
That was-
Oh no!
He definitely meant to do it. It was not an accident.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, like
Trying
that
to save it
was,
to Zach, but that ended up being a big deal.
yeah, that's gonna be huge.
Deal with 2 kills early. That's.
Also,
Oh, not like
Rajik's
2 kills.
Rajik's gonna
Yeah,
miss
Rajik's got
this
one of
wave
them,
too.
yeah.
They're gonna miss this. He's gonna miss this giant wave, like probably half of this giant wave that's coming in, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like pan up the top lane.
Yeah,
to
because
see.
that's the other factor of using your teleport there is you don't have your teleport to get back to lane, and teleporting back to lane matters a lot.
Especially for
Gnar,
Gnar, who's like a pressure champion, right? Like,
Yeah. Because now that he's lost his pressure, Cho has to sustain, and that basically switches from a winning lane to Gnar to a winning lane to Cho'Gath until basically Gnar gets 1 item.
yeah, because Cho's just gonna be able to sustain through the harass.
Yeah,
At this point, with the
totally.
glacial shroud and rejuve bead and the Doran shield.
Oh yeah.
Good trading coming in by Fuzul. You should not be able to trade this well with Syndra, but I mean, I guess I'll. I mean, so you wanted. I cut you off for the fight, but the jungle matchup. Anything nuanced
So,
to know? Or
as far as the jungle matchup goes here, I would, especially now, I would completely ignore top lane as the Jarvan. It is Gnar's an infuriating champion to try to gank, and their bottom lane is super vulnerable to ganks, especially from Jarvan. So, getting the Cho'Gath ahead there is great because it means that he can kind of ignore that lane a little bit and focus more on the bottom lane, where I think they can get a real advantage.
yeah, in a way,
I
you're
agree with that.
basically just nursing the advantage you have by going elsewhere with it, because you don't need more than that in top for this matchup specifically, right?
Yeah, like Tuba was saying, the Cho'Gath has an infuriating amount of sustain. So like,
Good stun here coming in from George. Not quite
Yeah.
level 6 yet, but
The fact that Cho gets to not lose the lane off that early fight is good enough. You don't need to come back and like put the Cho wildly ahead or anything like that. If Cho gets an early kill when he turns level 6, awesome. And if he doesn't, then that's fine. He doesn't need to win this lane.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, just like from not playing the lane or not, but, like just like making the read on this, it seems like, I mean, Cho's basically just gonna be fine until 2 items as long as he plays
Totally.
it clean, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And once Nara gets like mallet, like first item in mallet, oh, nice grab by in the bot lane here. Blue ball's gonna be hooked by the Blitzcrank. A lot of 5 stack.
Both junglers are here, and
Flash heal by Goonball. Flash by Big Bad Red. Looking like Tidzy held on to both Flash and healed, so it looks like
Yeah.
it went the way of Tussletown.
totally.
Like Rixie said, like I mean, it's completely predicated on the Blitz pulls. If Blitz lands the pulls, then all of a sudden the poke doesn't matter, right?
I mean, because you saw, like, if Jarvan wasn't there, or Zach even, like, they lost that fight just because of Red's spells hitting when they jumped in.
Yeah.
Like, they got the Blitz pull, but then they immediately re-engaged and, like, just the Vel'Koz damage.
yeah, in all seriousness, in that bottom lane, I feel like Jinx isn't the full target you want to go for. You want to go for the Vel'Koz because the Vel'Koz is going to carry the lane. The Jinx is just there to farm,
To soak the
and yeah.
Particularly before the first back. Now that Jinx has a BF sword, maybe that changes, but
Yeah, Tizzy hasn't backed yet, which is actually pretty interesting. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like, I mean, really, Goonball and Red, aside from the Summoners being down now and there's a window for a regank to happen, aside from that, considering they've recalled and they're even on CS, which means they didn't get denied a wave at all. So, I mean, Red and Goonball actually doing a good job keeping up despite having an early recall already. They've bought...
I want to see
they're a little
with the
down
recall.
on XP.
With the recall, I want to see Blitz and Jarvan converge on mid. That's what I think is the right play with that recall, and like blow the summoners. Because then I think without summoners, Diana can get solo kills on Syndra.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that over ganking the bot lane that you both just got 3 Summoners out of? Like,
Well, with the position the wave's in right now, like they could realistically have frozen the wave. Like they pushed it out instead, but they had the wave in a spot where
This
they could have
Kio's
frozen.
big chance to really drive his lead ahead.
gets a flash out of Donger. Donger looks like he's gonna get out of it, but gonna get free buffed again. So that, I mean, at that does have his smite up. Gets the blue, gets the heal from it, is going to die with the passive. George just barely missing the stun there.
Yeah, that gives a kill over to Foozle and gives double buff over to Foozle. George, yeah, flashed and missed his stun, so wasn't as effective as
That was a
there.
good
Nice.
read. That was a hard read. That was blind. I don't know if you saw that. There's
Oh,
no
wow,
ward
yeah,
there.
actually, yeah.
Good read.
I
by
assumed,
Theo.
I assumed that ward was, no, that's
like
ward
a
was-
Whoa! What was
ward
that?
is
I'm gonna go ahead and rewind that. Just
That
real
was
quick.
Jinx letting Blitzcrank walk up and eat her, I believe.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. I was gonna say 'cause he didn't grab his left. She was basically
And if
dead
that
already.
happens, if Trist has the E on her and gets 3 autos, then it's just
So
so much damage.
It was Tidsy's Tidsy with the mispositioning in the first game. Goonball maybe throwing a little bit of his lead here with that. Yeah, a lot going on. I like the up tempo style that Tussletown's playing this game. They've now 3-buffed Donger twice. And
They're doing the exact thing I said they needed to do in order to win this game. Like, because when it comes to straight 5-on-5 team fights, the advantage goes to Zyra.
Oh,
They-
nice dodges the W. Nice trade by Food. Oh my God, he's gonna get it too!
Wow.
What a savage!
That Diana mechanics coming in.
Well played there. I mean, everything about that was great. The decision to do it. He's already got a lead. He's got double buffs. He's got a Negatron cloak. Everything about that was a good idea. Really, really well played by Foozle. Gets flash gets the exhaust out of George too, and still scores a kill. That's actually huge because now he's got big kill potential, and he has teleport advantage. So he's gonna have a tempo advantage.
And
here.
now Diana can just continually kill Syndra over and over.
Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of us, we were saying Zyra was going to win, but a lot of us said if Diana gets ahead, switches around a lot. Diana getting ahead really affects how this game is going to play out.
I agree. I mean, big advantage for Tussletown right now, but similarly to last game, eerily similar, 3K gold lead at around 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Flipped around, different team this time, but
Another thing to note, though, is how well Radjek has caught back up. Like, he lost a huge advantage, or he got into a big deficit top lane, and he is now up in CS.
But that's the thing. Like, if Gnar is the winning champion in this matchup, Gnar should have a well. I mean, now he's
Brad on a Goonball. It's gonna be lit again. Look at the damage coming out of Vel'Koz. Looking like they're gonna
Jackal
trade
coming in.
one
Getting
back.
going with Blitzcrank.
1-for-1. Summer's blown by Blitzcrank and the heal by Tidsy in exchange for the exhausts from Big Bad Red. And a 1-for-1 trade.
You can imagine how far down Cho'Gath would be if Cho'Gath didn't get that, early kill and early,
if Nar's up
lane
on
pressure.
Yeah, this was 100% greedy by Red. I know the play they were looking for. I mean, then again, I guess you do got to try to make a play on this because you're going to lose your tower.
I think
Also-
you get bottom turret right here.
Also, for what it's worth, Goofball.
Oh,
Yeah, this
yeah,
is sloppy. Now, maybe a trade back. Maybe the resets. Oh, Goofball does get
not
that auto.
quite.
Sure.
Rixie not agreeing with that. Thanks, Rito, right?
As a few kind of sloppy mistakes back and forth from each team right there.
Yeah.
Cho looks like he's caught out here. Looks like he went for the kill and
Oh, Rashi gets the last auto.
You hate to see it happen.
Man, you really hate to see it. Trying to think of a line now. I don't know if we got it.
That from Dodgeball?
Yeah, I think so. It's got to be the hair cotton. It's beautiful. So, a couple of really sloppy trades back and forth. I think Red was trying to recoup. So if you look at what happened in the bot lane, right? Goonball gets grabbed, is gonna get denied that whole wave, and probably lose his tower. I think Red probably, I mean, maybe he wasn't thinking this way and it was just instinct, but stepped up, tried to clear the wave before it got to the tower so that he could get a free tower, and they had to earn it. Donger comes down, gets the trade, and I'm gonna come back to this later because this fight's happening right now. Zach with the ult over the wall. Football putting damage down, Red putting damage down. Where is this fight going? Happy Feet, Wombo combo. Jinx ultimate, nothing
all over
comes
the
out of
place,
it,
but
no
going
resets.
heavily in the favor of Tussle down.
Yeah, Tidzy picked up, what, 2 there? Double kill for Triss? Or he already had 2, I'd say.
Those are the kind of fights that Tussletown wants to look for too. They want to split up the fights and fight on 2 different fronts.
Yeah, which is weird because at this point in the game, I think they actually win a longer fight because they get their damage down first, presumably.
I mean,
from
they win a
blitzcrank.
longer fight just because they're 5k gold ahead, though. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like if they were even right here, they don't win a straight out 5 fight at this point.
Wonder why Bamboozle didn't go on that, but and his ult was on cooldown at the time. Now it's not, but nice pull. Kyo gonna get punished? I don't think so. Foozle might be looking for something here. Foozle's had his teleport up for like 5 minutes now.
It
There's a-
happens sometimes.
I mean, there's a good chance he recalls here. I mean, he's got. I forget how to do golds. I'm just gonna keep hitting buttons until it shows the gold. No, I forget. There it is.
Oh, wow,
It's
yeah,
dope.
what-
It's X. Okay. Foozle's got. Okay,
X,
so he
of
did.
course.
He did. Yeah, of course. Obviously, right? So.
Yeah, where X equals the amount of gold each player has.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? We got it. We figured it out. We did it. We did it. Thank you. That statistic, not even a statistic. Figuring out that statistic brought to you by Goose Island and Woodford Reserve,
Yeah.
bringing good casting over and over and over and over for at least 2 games.
Oh, that
Nice Gnar ultimate.
Yes.
Tidzy again with some suspect positioning. The Flag and Drag misses because Radzik decided to auto attack.
And the distance on the Zaki.
This is a solo
enough to
queue.
get him
This is
out.
a solo queue fight. Like, this guy ridiculous. 5k gold lead for Tussletown. Big Red Red's gonna fire the ult off. Puts a little bit of damage down. That was the lowest damage Vel'Koz ult I think I've ever seen, by the way.
He was kind of like right off of it. Didn't look like he was hitting.
Yeah, usually it
everybody.
just does like 5,000 even though it's barely hitting you, right? The true damage procs. Like Tussletown's gonna get a tower. Yeah.
That's down with a significant lead right now.
Also, Foozle still has not blown his TP, which means he's going to be able to keep this pressure lead up, unless he makes a big mistake. He's going to be able to teleport the fights. This 1-3-1 is going to be a big issue, because I don't think... maybe it won't be, because Radzik can stop Ansem right now. Ansem out of mana? Looks like it could be a 1 trade. A lot of damage coming out from Vel'Koz. Can Ansem trade the passive back? It doesn't look like it. Looks like
Jigsaw
eventually
misses,
Red's
but
gonna
Red's got to be able to get this and jumping in. Oh, nice
flash by Ansem. Is he going to get
Yeah.
out? Red's going to go ahead and
He's
flash.
out of there.
Misses.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. That's a really, really good escape by Ansem.
That's a great escape.
Nice flash. It's out of range. Don't know why he's stepping back into range. E on him. Nice
He
knock
goes
up.
in and does eventually get the kill.
I mean,
Survives all the turret shots.
this is like a bunch of really bad positioning followed up by like decently good recovery outplays, like individual mechanical outplays. But like they shouldn't have to outplay because they shouldn't be in that position to begin with. Radzik is just here. Walks from base. Zach lands Q on 2 people, jumps in, ults 2 people back into tower, but the tower's dead. Kyashrin putting damage down. Vel'Koz with the Disintegration Ray, Lifeform Disintegration Ray, scores the kill on Tidzy. Kyashrin down, or squeeze kill on Kyashrin, Tidzy already down. Foozle still pushing bot, still hasn't used his teleport. Getting
It's worth
hype.
Noting that Radzik is using a tempting Gnar skin, but not the best Gnar skin, so maybe that's part of
What's
the
the
problem.
best Gnar skin?
Winter Wonderland, of course.
Really? Is Ansem gonna have that great escape and then lose to this? Yeah. I don't know what the motivation for that was.
Yeah. 8k gold lead, now down to a 6k gold lead, and about to be like a 5k gold lead, so we'll
I don't agree with them setting like they should have rip-tailed off of that fight mid. They needed to gain like they won the team fight. They had someone bottom lane and they had everyone alive at that point. I think rip-tailed was something they should have gotten in order to try to pull back into the game.
This is a pretty.
It does feel like Tussletown is a little bit complacent with their lead, not really trying to play a clean game right now.
I mean, it looks like they had the right idea and then just like got distracted by plays they could make. And plays you could make aren't necessarily always the right. Oh my God! He killed the golem just in time to avoid the grab.
Yeah, also you got to feel like after laning phase, the Blitzcrank has not been that effective.
I mean, he did score the kill on George just now.
That's fair.
I mean, what I like out of Tussletown is, I mean, they are trying to push their advantage. They've just gotten distracted in the process, if that makes sense. Like a dive coming in here. Goonball pops his flash. Kyo's gonna Jarvan ultimate. Goonball gets popped by a lot of damage.
R shows up a little bit too late. George is here a little bit too late. And a 3v5 ends up with there will be a few more kills for Tussletown. One trade back kill.
1 for 2. But the tower also, so ends up being a
Oh, gets the slow on Diana, which means Diana's gonna
Oh my God, that damage!
Never mind. Never mind.
You know, just when you thought it was even. Just when you thought it was even. Yeah, I can't.
Soul comes in.
There's a 9k lead at 20. Unless they make some great, like, horrible mistakes, I can't see them losing this. I mean,
They need to like. I can't see a feasible way of losing this game at this point, unless they do like some massive Baron throw where they lose Baron and die like get ace.
yeah, I mean, 9k gold lead in 20 minutes is pretty tough to throw, even if you're like outscaled. I do think they're outscaled slightly. I mean, Tussletown does have the split potentially, but I mean, just like in a straight up 5v5, I do think.
Like the only position where I think they're really have an advantage in scaling is the Vel'Koz outscales the Blitzcrank. I mean, top lane, you can't really compare the top lanes because one's a hyper tank versus like a bruiser.
Yeah.
So, but I think Cho'Gath outscales Zac in the tank category, and Gnar might have a little bit of advantage over Jarvan as a bruiser.
Yeah, Jarvan I think brings some utility as well for what that's worth. Just the ultimate is really, really good against Jinx and Vel'Koz and Syndrome. All three of those champions can. I mean, I do like the Jarvan pick overall. It's really, really good against the 3 relevant targets, right?
The Jarvan in the team fights isn't looking to survive them. It's looking to kill the Jinx, the Vel'Koz, trap them up, and then if it lives, it lives.
Yeah, he wants to trade jungle for carry, basically. His ultimate here. Goonball stuck. Only has his heal. Not down yet. Still somehow surviving this fight. Tinsy comes in, cleans it up. Has a reset. Has his W on cooldown. Putting damage onto Radchik. Much better positioning this time, but is going to get popped by George. Great, as I say, much better positioning. Finally felt his Kyo barely going to walk out of that. I mean,
It ends up just being a 1-for-1.
I mean, considering that was a 4v5.
But, yeah, you know.
I mean, Fuzel legit
Fuzel
hasn't
gets
used his
spotted and
teleport in 12 minutes. 13
But,
minutes.
you know, they're not really answering the split push very well, so, you know, he's getting a lot of pressure out of just holding the teleport.
They don't have anyone to answer the push though either. Like, I'm pretty sure the Diana will one-shot anyone on the team right now.
Yeah, like who's the best
as far as
candidate
like
to answer it right now? It would be
It's gotta be
Radchik,
Gnar.
right?
yeah, but like Gnar, all he has is a Spectral Cowl, so he's not that tanky versus 305 Diana who has a Lich Bane and an Asher's Tooth already.
And a 75 or 85 CS advantage on him or whatever. So like, I mean,
So realistically,
Fuzel
they have
is
to send.
massive. Fuzel's massive.
Yeah, they have to send at least 2 people, and even that I think Fuzel has a chance against.
Well, a chance of 1v1 or like 1-for-1ing at least. I mean, Radzik. I mean, maybe once Radzik gets Banshees, it makes it a lot harder for Diana to score kills on you. I mean, she's slightly better with this build against the Banshees, just because she's better at like auto attack, like after the Banshees popped. Like she can Q and then ult you anyway. Goomball getting jumped on by Tidsy here. Two of them are just like, yeah, whatever. We both deal damage, bro. Tidsy way ahead of Goonball in the damage department.
Oh yeah, 2 full items basically.
I mean, 2 full crit items, like crit and attack speed items, more or less.
Yeah, that's a huge lead.
Nice grab. Not the target you want, but it might do.
But you know, they're far enough ahead that it might not matter. Actually, a decent amount of damage coming out of red there.
Yeah, I think.
Teleporting must finally come in from Foozle.
It's like, oh yeah, I have that summoner spell. Looking like this could be a 3v4 dive. They think against it. I think the correct call here is to like bait the Baron. You don't even need to do it. I mean, they're gonna do it anyway, but I think you turn and take fight over a steal from Zach maybe. Donger
That
getting
teleport
himself in
is
position.
just coming up right now. We'll see if he uses it.
Donger getting himself into position. Not a lot of wards. Looks like he's gonna have a chance at it. Doesn't get it through the Shogun Feast.
So hard to take it from Juliet.
They didn't win this fight though.
Yeah, 3-man ultimate from the Zach.
Never mind. Diana's destroyed.
Titi getting some resets. And between the Tristan and the Diana, I don't think there's a chance for Desire What's My Plans in this game. Looking, I mean, could they end on that? Probably just inhibitor. No, they could probably end.
Yeah, they have 30 seconds on
That-
anyone relevant.
That super wave from bottom is going to get to the Nexus about.
If they do end right here, a very fitting draw 1-1 from these two teams. Really evenly matched games. Some really fun fights and really good games.
Yeah.
Interesting drafts and fun games.
Really big. He's going to die here, I think.
Looks like they won't end right now.
Maybe a bit of an overstay. If Jinx can get a reset here, this is potential for Quadra, maybe.
Or, you know, maybe just a Zach.
Goonball gets a reset. Okay. What can they get off this? They can shove out bottom for a while. Oh my god.
So right there, like Goomball needs to switch to minigun form, and he would have killed that Cho'Gath 6 seconds.
I mean, he got away with it.
Yeah, because the Cho'Gath was going for someone else, but
Yeah, he got away. I agree.
people
I
who
agree
play Jinx, they need to know. You got to know your difference when you guys switch between the two.
Yeah, because I mean, the champion's literally just about doing damage, so you need to know when it's optimal to switch back and forth. I think he was respecting the Cho burst a little too much. He probably has enough health now where he's not going to get one shot.
He was, I mean, he was in minigun range though.
Yeah,
the
he
whole
was in
time,
mid.
so
Like he,
that's-
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they get away with it. Mistake, but they do get away with it. Not really able to get much off of this. I think they're gonna get a shove on top. They're gonna clear like probably 2 waves worth of super minions in the top lane. Nara's gonna get some time farming in the bottom.
I mean, all Tuzzledown has to do here is go mid and let the supers push in.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and snag that dragon first. Another Cloud Drake for what that's worth. Little tiny bit unlucky. Drakes. I mean, although
Oh no, I actually think
Drake's
Cloud Drake's
is-
exactly what their team wants.
yeah, triple Cloud Drake's really, really good with Diana.
And the
Blitz
thing, even with like the quote-unquote worst Drakes, when you get 3 clouds or 3 oceans, that matters.
yeah, I mean, your
3
mode
of any dragon really like affects the
is
game heavily.
a big enough multiplier that it matters, right?
Totally, yeah.
I mean, again, like with Tristana, that is what you want. Like you want to beat them to tower so you get. If you're that much, oh, nice rupture. Maybe wouldn't have taken that E if I was Donner, but they're gonna try and force disengage anyway, so they don't lose the inheritance turret. They really only have this one opportunity to start this fight because they're gonna get pressured out. Only one Nexus turret.
Good poke coming out of red.
Yeah, I think that was the right call to try to force that. Just a little unfortunate in the timing with the rupture there from Donger.
Yeah, you gotta feel like that was not on purpose, and it just happened that way.
I mean, they have to fight this now.
Donger
They're
goes
not.
in again. Boozle is down already, which is a big thing.
Single person ult out of red. He's not gonna.
Jinx
have
just
multiple.
not able to kill the front line though.
Yeah.
Gets chopped by Cho'Gath, gets locked in by Jarvan. It doesn't look like Doesn't look like Zyra's plants has enough
Yeah.
damage
Yeah, I
to,
don't think
to
so.
manage to get through.
I mean, relevant in that fight too. I mean, Goomball was in a pretty rough spot because he had to be doing damage, but at the same time, he did get killed by Cho'Gath that didn't have his flash. So, and he still had his heal up.
Yeah, he was locked in.
I mean, I'm not saying it's easy positioning in these kind of fights, but it looks like Tussletown is going to take game 2 to make this a 1-to-1 split.
Yeah.
Which I believe benefits Tussletown. I don't know. These teams might actually be tied for second. I don't actually know. I feel like I should probably know
My
this.
understanding is that they will definitely play each other in the first round of semifinals, just like we're already playing Badgers team.
I think I hear you brushing your shoulders off, but I could be wrong about that.
Me brushing my shoulder off?
Yeah.
Was that a
Just a little
an
swag.
analogy, or do you actually
Yeah, just a
hear
little,
me
just a little
actually
swag.
hear me
You know,
bro?
just feeling yourself up a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow, Kyo with actually a big game. He only died once in that game. I guess they snowballed
Yeah.
pretty hard, but let's look at the damage here.
Jake, how do you feel about Zeke's convergence? Like a pretty supporty build coming out of Kyo there with the Knight's Vow and
It actually, like,
Zeke's convergence.
Yeah, I was questioning it when I saw it, but it makes a lot of sense when you look at exactly what the Jarvan's planning on doing in that fight. Like, he's looking to ult on carries and then burn them out. So, obviously, when his ult's up, he's buffing whoever he gave it to, and they can just shred whoever's inside the Cataclysm.
Yeah, Tidzy did, twice what anybody else in this game did. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
and I like the Knight's Vow there too, because like they're not peeling for Tidzy, they're just diving all in together. So the Knight's Vow gives Tidzy a little bit of extra damage reduction to maybe help him out should anyone manage to get on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Knight's Vow is. I mean, there's spots
It's a
where it's
good
not
item.
good, but it's like relatively efficient right now. So, I mean, that combined with, I mean, if you look at their team, like, what's their win condition, right? Either a split push with Fuzul, or if you're team fighting, it's all on Tidzy to do damage, right? Tidzy and then a burst from Cho'Gath to help get the first reset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about like their win condition, it makes sense to have the Zeke's conversions for sure. Yeah, I don't know. So 1-to-1 series, that was quicker. I forget how long the first game was. The first game was a lot longer than that, right? Like 30-something minutes. I don't
Like
remember.
36 or something.
Yeah, Tidzy did 26k. The next most in this game was 15 by Ragic, 14 by Kyoshirin, 17 by Big Bad Red did the most on his team. The classic, the Big Bad Red classic.
I mean, Red, like I said, Red knows how to deal damage on these champions. He's just, all these champions are super soft and exploitable.
Yeah, I actually think the
Which-
Jarvan pick was like a game winner almost. I mean, they played it really well. Like, I don't know if the champion mattered specifically, but like, because they played the early game a lot better.
No, I think the Jarvan was essential to this win because he almost always locked 2 people up, and it was always a priority target.
Yeah, I mean, if
There's not another jungler in the game that has that amount of lockup on a champion. Like you act like if you're not when you're when you have 3 immobile carries like they did,
where their
you
flash has
can't-
to be up. Yeah, like
yeah.
their
So if
flash
they
has
don't
to
have
be up or
flash,
they're
they
done.
actually just die.
Even if it's not to you, it's to the rest of your team's damage. So I really like the Jarvan pick. I really like the way they played this game, like up tempo and getting ahead early. Like they didn't just let Donger farm on Zac. Like that's the way you need to attack the tank junglers. Is you need to like get. I mean, I know Kyo built tank, but like the way you need to build the super tanks that are going to out tank you in the late game is you need to stop them from getting that point. They 3-buffed. They took his blue the first 2 times it was up. They 3-buffed him both both the second and first and second rotation.
Yeah, the biggest thing on that early invade was their coordination, like having Ansem come down with him and beating Radjek to the rotation, because Jarvan and Zac have very similar early clears. They both take a lot of damage and they barely get their 3 buffs.
Yeah.
So having Ansem there to add more disruption, more damage was essential to actually like having that play successful.
I agree.
Because I think if they meet in the jungle, Zac's actually going to beat Jarvan in the in a level 3 fight. Assuming, I mean, it assumes a little bit of outplay on the part of the Zac, but if Jarvan doesn't hit his EQ, which I believe he actually used to go over the wall anyway, he's just auto attack.
Yeah.
And contesting a Zac at a buff gives him a secondary target to slam you into.
All right, so we had I don't know, any comments, Rixie?
Trist is broken.
Trist is broken.
Broken.
Tuva, comments?
I am sad I predicted both games wrong, but I did predict the official 1-1 just in the wrong order.
That's fair. It's like that's like doing the math homework and getting the answer right, but not showing the work right.
Yeah.
It's-
You get
but you got it right.
wrong
That's all that
work, but
matters.
You got the
right?
right answer. Yeah.
Right?
Not crazy about the Spirit Visage on the Gnar in the last game. I think Hex Drinker is a better magic resist item for Gnar. But, if he's just trying to be tanky, then Spirit Visage isn't.
I think Gnar tried to match tank versus tank instead of playing to Gnar's advantage as a brute.
Yeah, I think that's. I had a long series of games on Gnar where I tried to do exactly what you're saying. I try to just kind of be a tank on Gnar, and it's just better to just play what Gnar does best. You get the Cleaver, you get the Frozen Mallet, you get the Hex Drinker or Maw, and you do some work.
I mean, especially in a game like this too, I feel like they had. I mean, Fuzel was ahead. You had a setup for a 1-3-1, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't need it in this case, but I mean, again, you still even in wins, you want to like look at what you could have done better, and like playing to your win condition that way. I think building that way would have been a better, more optimal.
Yeah, both these teams actually surprised me. They all played like very aggressive.
Yeah, they were
and
really
I,
proactive, right?
Yeah, and maybe it's like a skewed sample, but like I feel like I haven't seen that sort of aggression out of any of these like teams in any of the games we played.
Shots fired.
I mean, like, think about it. Like, I was saying this yesterday too. Like, I feel like I've never been pressured in the jungle playing. Like, in this game, there was
They were
always
pressured,
a contest
yeah.
on every like camp.
Yeah, I agree.
Congratulations to both teams, honestly.
I agree. I mean, yeah. God damn it, that was so loud. I mean, I agree. It was a good series. Really back and forth. It was a slugfest. It was like the boxing match that went the whole
Slugfest, indeed.
distance. Yeah, I mean, looking forward to playing one of these teams. Hashtag shots fired again. You heard me. You heard me, Badger. I know you're still creeping
In for Badgers team 2-0s us swiftly.
swiftly.
So,
The
which
fast
team?
2-0.
You said these teams are facing each other,
Correct.
probably, most likely. Who do you favor in the best of three?
No, I think Tussletown. I mean,
You think
it's. I mean, part of it is just like individual players, but I think from a shot calling standpoint, they were better. I think in the first game they just drafted 3 losing lanes, and the second they didn't draft 3 losing lanes, they won.
3 weeks ago, Ansem said, "See you in the finals." So
Oh.
Tussletown thinks they're going to make it, and I'm with them. I think Tussletown will make it to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, Zyra could definitely win this series. Like a best of 3, they could definitely win.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean,
Like if they like just go ballistic like they did in game 1, and then they can hold serve and like win a long game 2 or something, I could see that happening.
yeah. I mean, when Goonball gets kills, Goonball does work. So,
Yeah.
and you saw that in game 1, and didn't get there in game 2, but certainly had that potential.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Like, Goomball to me is like the guy that can do stuff with resources. Can't always necessarily generate on his own, but when he's given the resources, he can do it. Yeah, I don't know. Should be an even series. I would say like, it wouldn't surprise me to see it go to a game 3. I could see that being 2-1 for Tussletown.
Also, props to Tussletown for recognizing that we can't beat the Zyra, but we can handle the Zac, and being able to handle the Zac. We were all kind of thinking that was a mistake, but they knew what they were doing.
I agree. Well, you guys got anything else to add? I'm gonna wrap this up.
I don't think so. Just like to thank my sponsors and
We're going to thank Woodford Reserve.
thank Woodford Reserve for a delicious bourbon, which I am now all out of.
We are going to thank Goose Island, Flying Fish Brewery, and Evil Genius Brewery, not the sports organization.
Also, shout out to Chris Morris, whose signature as the master distiller at Woodford Reserve is on the bottle here. And big shout out to bottle number 897,
Wow.
batch 1652.
Look at that. Bravo. Rixie, Mayor, any sponsorship shout outs?
I'd like to thank Hearthstone for allowing me to get through this.
Jake,
I got nothing. I'm just glad this was going on because all I've been doing is flying around in circles and dollar on.
Yo, how's that Coleman sponsorship going for camping?
Cricket.
God damn it. Whatever, I tried, damn it, I tried.
It was a good attempt.
Oh, this is going to be a long weekend in Boston, man. This is going to be a long weekend.
It's gonna be the greatest
Lots of
weekend
crickets.
your life.
Lots of crickets. And potentially lots of Woodford Reserve.
That's a
We
good
will see.
choice. Good choice. Unless we can get some spiced
Oh!
Swiss mead. Oh,
Oh!
this is the most excited Rixie's been the whole cast.
Oh! I just forgot that in Boston you can get Sam Adams Brick Red Ale,
Ooh.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
which
That
is
is true.
only in town Boston.
Yep, we can do that.
Oh.
That's gonna be one of our one thing on our to-do list.
I'm a fan.
I haven't had it since I blacked out and threw up ramen all over my cousin's window because I was taking videos of my car on the street.
Last time I
Hashtag.
was at a bar in Boston, I paid $12 for a shot of tequila. So bars in Boston can be dangerous sometimes.
I lost my my drug rug hoodie, and my cousin mailed it to me a year later. She went back to the bar like the next day, and it was still there.
Shit, we ought to do we ought to do an after hours now. Like that's like just Boston stories. Just Dan's Boston stories.
The tongue gets me fucked up.
Hey,
City.
the last time I was in Boston, I was at an anime convention. I don't even watch anime, and I discovered The Hands of the Sun, and that's important for everybody that's heard about The Hands of the Sun. Also, the tequila wasn't $12. I had a shot for cheaper than that. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
But now I think about it, I didn't pay for it, so maybe it was $12.
yeah.
It was right across from the
I
convention
didn't pay for
center,
this
so it
one either, but I
probably
was
that
just so
much.
surprised at a $12 shot of tequila.
Wow. Boston
City
gonna be
bars.
fun.
I'm hoping to hit up Boston Burger Company at some point. Get a
Boston
mac and cheese
Dude,
burger.
all right, so you told me about that the last time I was there. We gotta actually go to this because I didn't get to go to it when I was there because
Yeah,
I
well,
was-
we gotta like fucking get reservations or some shit.
I
'cause
was-
I
I
tried
don't
to
think
go.
they take reservations.
I went to the brewery that's by MIT. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jake? I don't know, or Tube. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I
I'm
forget what
not
it's
sure.
called. It
I
was
don't
a
think
sweet.
so.
It was a sweet little place. I mean, it wasn't like that. I wouldn't like go out of my way to go there again, but like it was pretty good. I went to a bar that had like, 10 billiards tables and a bunch of pinball machines. That was fun. That was like on MIT's campus. I don't remember what that
Fucking
was
nerds.
called either. Dude, fuck you, dude. Whatever.
I mean, of course, MIT would have.
Hey, dude, that bar was legit. Like, just a bunch of nerds playing pool and drinking craft beer.
Oh, sounds good.
Sounds lame and lit at the same time in a weird way.
Sounds great.
It's fair. I want to go to Boston Burger Company because Jake told me to go there, and I didn't get to go there because I was obliterated the entire time I was there. So
When I went to PAX East, we tried to go, but there was like a fucking hour and a half wait.
we got to get reservations. Maybe Saturday afternoon or something.
He just said they don't think they take reservation.
All right, well,
Yeah, I don't think they do. It's kind of like a pub.
we'll do whatever. Whatever. They're going to take reservations for this.
We'll do whatever we have to do.
Boom.
I just
will-
want
I
burgers.
think it's pretty far away from the TD Garden, so it might not have as much traffic. It's right outside of Fenway. It's like a couple blocks from Fenway.
Yo, is there a Red Sox game? I mean, I'd be okay just like walking around Fenway, but that'd be a cool idea.
What if everyone got tickets to a Red Sox game except for Dan?
I would fucking beat the shit out of you and
steal
take one of
and
them.
book it into the stadium
Are
and be
you
like,
kidding
"He's
me?
late."
fuck
Peace,
that.
late.
Probably the only one here who owns Red Sox stuff.
Yo, dude, that's blasphemy. You know that, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh, I'm calling you out. You have a Big Poppy jersey, don't you?
No. Actually, funnily enough, I just have a Red Sox jersey with no name on it, but then I have a Adam Jones Orioles jersey.
I lost my
Man,
Garcia
They're
Parra
playing the
jersey.
Yankees the Friday night and the Saturday.
Yo,
That's fucking-
seriously?
What?
That might actually be an option.
It might be sold out already.
Yeah,
honestly.
probably. Yeah, I mean that's a rivalry, so maybe.
Fenway is a small park, so it sells out.
I mean, we could look into it. Is it an
Also,
afternoon-
Red
is it a
Sox
Saturday
Yankees
afternoon
games are
game?
like super expensive.
Yeah.
Is it a Saturday afternoon? I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
seeing
it's
those,
Saturday
but it's-
afternoon. There's also a Sunday night, and a Friday.
Well,
night.
Sunday night we'll be watching finals, presumably.
Yeah.
Saturday
So Friday-
afternoon, maybe. What time?
Well, the other
what time
factor-
is
Well,
it?
we gotta remember, finals are over by like 6 or 8. They start at 3.
Red Sox schedule. It is in Fenway, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not against the Yankees in New York, right?
Oh, actually, I don't know. That's a
I'm
good
looking
question.
now.
I can't really see on the
Yankees at Yankee Stadium in New York. Yeah, it's in New York.
schedule.
That's unfortunate.
Killing myself in real life.
God damn.
It was close. It was also. It was almost good.
Yeah, it was almost.
Yeah, the schedule I'm looking at doesn't say where they
It
are.
says Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a weekend series, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, whatevs. It's worth a shot. All right, fam. I'm out. I'm gonna head to bed. That was randomly fun. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
Peace,
it's a good time.
late.
That was chill.
I
Peace.
am out
Late.
as well.
I will probably be around tomorrow. I mean, I'll be around. I'm a fucking loser, so I'm here.
I'll be in Vegas.
Yo,
I will be
you're in
playing-
Vegas. Oh, you're gonna play Diablo 2 because you fiending.
No, I'm gonna be playing the arcade missions all day, trying to get Dread Nova Darius.
You're not gonna be playing Diablo 2 like you were fiending on like 4 hours ago.
Nope, because I gotta get Dread Nova Darius.
You really want Dread Nova Darius.
I want it so bad.
How many more gemstones do you need?
Well, okay.